wise. Grass only greener when it's fertilized. Gave them truth in these songs, they prefer to lies. Destiny beautiful, adrift in her purple eyes. You can't see me, you Stevie. Wondering how I reach more evolutions than Evie and make it look easy. Man, dream on, yeah. Dream on, Dreamweaver.
What is up, Earth's mightiest subscribers? It's your boy Ernie, the Blerd Without Fear. Got the homie Carter presents. Welcome to episode 311 of the Blerd Cave, the #1 comic book news stream on this or any other Earth in the multiverse that you can not only find just here on YouTube, but you can also find us. You can find us on Google, Apple, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon, anywhere good podcasts may be found. And if you do, make sure you leave us a rating. Helps us find more listeners like yourself. I didn't mean to bring the mood down starting off that heavy, but it has been an interesting week. There's been a lot of death this week. Some of them expected. Or I won't say expected, but some of them unsurprising, some of them more surprising. Yes. Man, it's crazy. Some of them I'm conflicted about. Really just Jim Shooter. I'm conflicted about Jim Shooter. But the rest of them I'm like, you know what? Yeah, rest of them, yeah.
Shooter, it makes me happy that I'm trying to get as much Valiant as I can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of people forget he's the founder of Valiant.
Yeah, he's the founder of Valiant. So, and you know what? Conversation you and I were having before we started. The one thing that I saw at that black-owned comic shop that will be the reason I do go back there is they had a lot of Valiant shit, and it was the Valiant stuff that I wanted from like the 2012 and stuff like that. They had a lot of those. They had a lot of those trades. So yeah, that's gonna be. It's just like with Peter David's passing. It was finally time for me to find Spider-Man 2099. My boy Bishop, he got the big ass Maestro thing because he is a huge fan of Maestro. I might actually stream today that Avengers expansion with Hawkeye and Maestro. But point being, I want to find a way to, to where they're always in my head. And one way for me to do that with Shooter was to just get more Valiant stuff. So, that could be one way that you all could, try to figure something out of how to, to give some honor to a lot of these comic book creators and shit. But these actors, like you and I were talking about it before we started, like, bruh, how many times have I been on here talking about Julian McMahon about how that was a great Doom and a bad Fantastic Four movie?
He's the only good thing about it.
I didn't say that too many times. And he was the one where I didn't see Dr. Christian Troy when I was watching him. That was Dr. Doom. I didn't see fucking Cole. And I liked Cole. I don't give a fuck what y'all say about Charm. Cole was a beast on Charm.
Oh, yeah. So, Cole was it.
Yeah, Cole was the guy. I couldn't stand Piper and Prue hating ass because Phoebe got a good one. I don't give a fuck if he was a demon. So that one kind of stung a little. Michael Madsen caught me off guard, so I had to go watch, Kill Bill. I had to go watch Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah. Mr. Blonde has exited the building. He took his last ear.
Yeah.
Man.
So yeah, you try to find a way to put a smile on your face, to not be sad, and that was my way of doing it. I didn't watch Fantastic Four, mind you.
No, don't do that to yourself.
No, there ain't enough meth in the world. But I did go
Yeah.
through and watch, Charmed and stuff like that. And like I said, been reading Valiant, got the Spider-Man 2099, watched Reservoir Dogs, didn't even know there was a PS2 Reservoir Dogs game. That tripped me the fuck out.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, that's all you can really do to stop from being sad. Just try to find some happiness in there to show you respects.
One of the things that that I loved about Julian McMahon specifically was that, I mean, he was always the best part of anything he was in. Like, he was one of the best parts of Runaways. He was one of the best parts of yeah, he was Jonah.
What fucked me up about Runaways
was
I got real giddy when people told me that he was on there, because y'all gonna laugh. But I said, dog, they brought Doom back? Why? He had kids on the Runaways? I don't remember Brian K. Vaughan writing the damn Doom in the Runaway. Didn't even know it was a completely different character.
Yeah, he was playing a different
Didn't
character.
even know it. I was hype as fuck to finally sit down and watch Runaways because Doom was on there.
Well, even I don't know if you've seen that new Nick Cage movie, The Surfer, but he's in that too. That was like one of his last movies, is The Surfer with Nick Cage. And what's funny about it is that he plays one of the bad guys, or he actually plays the bad guy of the movie, to the surprise of no one. Yeah, like, dude, and you know what? Holy shit, I did not know he was in this as well. I'm gonna have to watch this. There's a movie called The Supremes at Earl's All You Can Eat. I've been meaning to sit down and watch that. I've had that on my watch list for a while. I actually did not know he was in it. But yeah, like, I was also recently watching another movie, Monster Party, he was in. I was like, dude, he was really good in that too. Even though that movie is kind of uneven in some spots.
TV show. It's called like FBI. He was on one of the spinoffs of FBI.
He was on he was on FBI, and he had been on he's a guest on FBI, and then he was on FBI's Most Wanted as a main character, and then he was on
that's what I knew.
Yeah, there was another spinoff that he also was on.
Oh wow.
Okay. FBI International. But and he had another TV show, The Residents, that he was recently that that was the Netflix joint, the one with Uzo Aduba. Crazy Eyes from Orange is the New Black, for those that don't recognize the name. But I remember when he was Doctor Doom, when he first played Doctor Doom in Fantastic Four, there was something that let me know off top that he was going to be, like, regardless of the quality of the movie itself, I knew he was going to be good, because he paid attention to something that a lot of other people didn't. And when people asked him, what did you study for, did you go back and read any of the comics for your inspiration to play Doctor Doom? And he was like, well, yeah, I was already a fan of the character, but like, because I used to read all Fantastic Four as a kid. But he said, I went back and he said, what I really wanted to get right was the hands. And the person interviewing him didn't really, you could tell, like, it was like crickets, like the dial-up sound was going off in their head because they didn't really understand what he meant. And I did. Because he was talking about how, like, man, yeah, Doom has these really, like, crazy, like, hand gestures. And he was like, I wanted to make sure that I got it down, like, like, to make sure that, like, I just practiced, like, doing all the different, like, hand gestures and stuff, and, like, the way Doom would hold his hands when he was, like, using his powers and stuff. And I was like, all right, this guy gets it. I was like, you know what? I was like, this movie might not be in good hands, but Dr. Doom is. Michael Madsen, that was a guy who, like, honestly, I didn't really know how to feel about that one, because Michael Madsen was always one of those actors that I always just liked in, shit. Like, whenever I saw him, I was like, dude, yeah, this is gonna be good. I was like, whenever I saw him in, I was like, man, this movie might be trash, but he's gonna be good in it. That's usually kind of how I assumed with a lot of things with him. Like,
I'm just thinking about it now, dude. Like, look at the Doom we got for 2 movies.
Mm-hmm.
That is just he's clearly having fun with it. And what do we do when we gonna bring Doom back? A gritty Doom, a more realistic Doom. We get a goat man with goat legs.
My God.
Y'all replace Julian McMahon for goat legs. That Dr. Doom looked like some shit off of one of them VHS movies, bro. Like, oh, no.
Man, look, don't.
That Force stick was terrible. I'm sorry.
Yeah, man, leave them VHS movies alone, man. Leave them alone. Turn them loose. But no, as I was saying about Michael Madsen.
please. I saw a comment. Please.
Yeah, but no, Michael Madsen was one, like, I feel like most people probably kind of slick forgot. I feel like a lot of people kind of slick forgot about it because he mostly started kind of doing like a lot of actors do about that time in their career, where they're kind of like just doing whatever. Like they're just taking just random shit, random roles and random things. And I think like, cause like after Kill Bill, and honestly, even Kill Bill, that was kind of the first time I had really seen Michael Madsen anything in like a while. But then like after that, it was like, okay, yeah. Then he kind of just started doing like, whatever the fuck. But like, you couldn't tell me shit the first time I saw Reservoir Dogs. Everybody I knew was like, yeah, no, man, Mr. Blonde. Like, even I remember when they came out with the DVDs of Reservoir Dogs for the first time, and you could cop a DVD with one of the characters. Like, you could get Mr. Brown, you could get Mr. Orange, Mr. White, whatever, whichever character you got, that's the characters on the front of the DVD. I remember you couldn't keep them yellow DVDs. You couldn't keep them little yellow ass DVDs in stock at Suncoast. Let me just go ahead and tell you that right now. Motherfucker stayed like, yeah, man, y'all got that Mr. Blonde. Man, y'all out of the Mr. Blonde. Y'all out of the Mr. Blonde covers. I'm just saying.
Since we doing that, I'm finna go further back. It's like, I think it was the same. Okay, so the DVD that I had of Reservoir Dogs. Oh, I'm finna fuck your head up, Ernie. Mine came from Sam Goody.
Ugh, disgusting.
And mine,
disgusting.
It came with, you had to open the DVD case, but it came with the ear that he cut off in the movie.
Oh my God. I'm not gonna lie, it's actually kind of wild. I'm not gonna hold you. That is actually kind of wild.
Yeah.
I'll say this too, for Michael Madsen. The guy was in a lot of movies, did a lot of great stuff. Like I say, he was just a really cool dude. At least as far as his movies. I don't know about his personal life. I can't vouch for that. But yeah, I think he'll be missed, man. And in regards to both of them, I really appreciate like how many like people like celebrities that have worked with and people who were like friends with him like came out and were talking about it. And it was kind of the same for Jim Shooter, but for very different reasons. I said earlier that I was conflicted about Jim Shooter. I have very good reason for that. While I'm sad that he passed, I mean, Jim Shooter's the type of guy, like, I mean, you kind of have to respect the game. You really do have to respect the game. Because he got in the game young. Like, he was Jim Shooter is the reason so many kids when I was coming up had dreams. Why, even I had dreams of breaking into the comics industry at a young age. Because a lot of people don't know this. Jim Shooter broke into the business when he was a teenager. And I don't mean like he was 17, 18 years old. Jim Shooter broke into the business, to my understanding, when he was like 14 or 15. Like, basically, yeah, when he was like 14 years old, because like he used to like try and get stories out to like DC Comics and shit like that. And basically, by the time I think he was like 14, he ended up like kind of getting in the business of basically making money selling storylines to DC Comics. The guy was literally like the breadwinner of his family by the time he was like 15, 16 years old. So, I mean, he is a story. He's an inspiration story to be sure. And let's keep it a buck. I know Carter and I bitch and moan and whine and cry all the fucking time about how, man, there's just too many goddamn crossovers. They doing all these goddamn events. But here's the thing. One thing you can't take away from Jim Shooter is he is basically the reason why shit like that exists in the first place. He is literally considered the father of the fucking crossover. And you can discredit the way that he worked or like what he was like as an editor. You discredit his writing if you want to. I mean, I won't lie. I don't expect a lot of people to remember this, but I remember when I first kicked off this channel, one of the first things I did was talk about Marvel Superhero Secret Wars and how it aged like milk. So trust me, I know. And he also had some pretty fucked up opinions.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I appreciate Valiant and for being introduced to those characters. But no, when he was for as much shit as we give Tom Brevoort for being top dog right now and editor-in-chief of Marvel, oh no, dog. Jim Shooter was a whole different kind of nasty.
He's actually, you could actually say he's responsible for Chris Claremont kind of like not wanting to do shit. You know what? Here's what I say, dude. A little homework, and this is a free documentary to my understanding. You can actually look it up. It's very watchable. I know because I've watched it multiple times. Go watch Chris Claremont's X-Men. Go watch Chris Claremont's X-Men. It's a documentary about Chris Claremont's time working on X-Men, and you will find that there's some pretty like, oh shit, because Jim Shooter's in it. He's in it. He's actually in the documentary. But it's not even just that. It's also that he has some really weird rules about.
See, I don't even want you to say weird. Just it's fucked up.
Yeah, no.
It's probably the time, but no, it's still fucked up.
No, it's fucked up. It's because so I don't know if y'all remember when Alpha Flight was a thing and North Star came out as gay. Because at the time, Jim Shooter had a strict anti-LGBTQ policy. Not the wording they had for it then. It was just literally no gay shit policy is basically what it was. So all those people that used to always get mad at me whenever I would point out that like, yeah, there's some characters, if you go back and look, they're kind of coded as gay or coded as lesbian or coded as this, coded as that, whatever. It's not that they weren't. They were. The reason why they couldn't be more than that is, at least in the 80s during his tenure as editor at Marvel, he was the reason why you could. I mean, yeah, the Comics Code Authority played a heavy role in that as well, but also so too did Jim Shooter. But Jim Shooter did not want North Star to be made gay, and there was also other instances where, like, when gay characters were. When gay characters were actually depicted, they were often depicted. He was the reason why they were oftentimes depicted as stereotypes. And I know there's going to be people who are going to be mad that that I bring that up. There's going to be people who are probably going to be mad that we're talking about him at all. But the thing is, I think that it is always important to have context for people. And honestly, I do not believe in respecting the dead. I have a policy of fuck the dead. Fuck them.
Not literally. We're
not literally. No, not
here at the Blerd Cave. Those words are Blerd Without Fear in his alone. They have nothing to do with Carter Presents Corporate.
But I mean, but the reality is, at the end of the day, I'm like this. If you can't talk shit about a motherfucker when they're dead, then when can you? When can you? Huh? And I know there's people in the industry who love him to death. I know there's people who worked with him who love him. I know there's people who worked with him that hate him. And there's other people who have conflicting feelings about him. I will say this though, you cannot deny his impact on the industry for better or worse. because he did a lot of good for the industry too, because he also is responsible for why people get royalties. Even though they don't get much, but I mean, he is responsible for that. He is responsible for making the industry a better place for creators, ultimately, by kind of spearheading some of those things. But he also did a lot of harm as well. So at the end of the day, while
real, if you're not being real if you're only bringing up the good. You got to bring up the whole fucking thing, or otherwise you being fake. You being nasty. You have to bring up everything.
You have to talk about the crust of a motherfucker, and I'm sorry, but that just is what it is. I mean, I'm just saying, man, dude, you got to, man, the crust. You got to, like, see, I'm talking about pizza. I'm talking about pizza crust. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm talking about pizza crust. Yeah, and Elite just said right here, too many people get glazed when they did, and that's my thing. I don't believe in doing that. I do not believe in doing that. Because if I was a problematic person, I would not be fucked up about. I mean, why would I be? I'd be dead. But I'm just saying, like,
come back. Like that dude from Tales from the Hood, when the man tried to pee on his grave, he got his ass snatched up real quick. Yeah.
But no, I mean, it is what it is. And I think people just need to accept. You gotta take the good with the bad. And we're not saying that. I don't want anyone to think that, because I think, full disclosure, at 3:30 Central, there will be the best comics this week will be up, which, by the way, I implore all of you who are here right now to go watch it. I put a lot of effort into those videos. But there's even a point where I was actually going to talk about Jim Shooter on Fuck Shit of the Week. But I was like, you know what? I was like, and I didn't want anyone to think that I didn't not talk about him because I was trying to be respectful. It was like, nah, it's because I had a lot to say. It's because I had a lot to say, and that felt like something that would better have worked. And I might actually still do it. I may actually do a video where I talk about Jim Shooter. It will not win me any friends in the industry, I can tell you that. But at least none publicly. But yeah, that's all I really wanted to go. I do want to say, though, just to kind of get us back on task, we got a lot to talk about. There's a lot of stuff. A lot of things. There's stuff that's popping off. And let's go ahead and start with, you know what? I want to get okay. I'm going to do this a little out of order. I actually want to talk about Diamond first, because we've been kind of putting Diamond off for a while. And Diamond has just been out here repeatedly fucking up. Repeatedly fucking up, just left and right. The saga of Diamond runs long and wild, but it's hitting a little closer to home. And I think it's time we actually address the elephant in the room. So I'm going to do a couple of things here. For one, and I'm going to leave this here. First, before I do this. So some of y'all know I actually have a pretty good relationship with Dynamite Entertainment. I don't have a good relationship with Diamond at all. Diamond does not like me. I can tell you that right now. That much I can promise you. They fucking hate my guts. But Dynamite. I have a very good, like, I don't want to give too much away of the behind the scenes of it all, but basically just know that I keep a pretty open dialogue with the top brass at Dynamite. The president of Dynamite, Nick Barucci. He and I like to consider him, someone who I would think of as a friend. Amy Rainiello, the coach, Mad Dog,
Chef J.
Yeah, Chef J.
No. This Chef J is in the chat right now saying humble brag. There's nothing humble about this brag.
There's nothing humble about it. Yeah, this is
that right now.
This is no. This is this. I mean, but when I say what I say, the reason why I'm saying all this is because it is important to the plot here. So when I found out some of you may or may not know this. Diamond is Diamond going out of business. Let's go ahead and just and you know what? And I actually save clips like this for just for people like Dynamite, or not Dynamite, but for just for people like Diamond. That's gonna that is gonna be. That is going to be the hardest part of this whole segment. But yeah, when it comes to companies like Diamond Comics Distributors, who have long supplied the industry with comics, long been the supplier, or not really the supplier, but the distributor for Marvel, DC, really any comic book publisher worth their salt. Yeah, it pretty much goes without saying that they all, as far as I'm concerned, Diamond can kiss my ass. Let's just go ahead and keep it a buck here. Let's just call a spade a spade. Diamond can eat my ass. So, but getting away from that, I learned some disheartening news, and it was that Dynamite was owed a lot of money. They were owed a lot of money.
That don't surprise me at all.
Dude, let me keep it up. Look, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, Carter. When I found out how much, I
didn't know you had a number.
Oh,
shit.
Yeah, I have a number. I got a number here, and you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna pull this up because I want y'all to see it. I don't want to gatekeep this information from y'all. But per Bleeding Cool, Dynamite is owed $1 million. $1 million. Let me y'all don't hear me. Dynamite is owed $1 million, and that's honestly probably a minimum. $1 million. And because of the fact that Diamond has been in such disarray, Dynamite actually relies pretty heavily on Diamond as a distributor, probably more than most. Probably more than most. And basically, they have fucked up the church money. They have fucked up the church's money. And I can't get jiggy with this shit, because for me, this is just egregious. Like, this is just egregious. So, basically what's going on here says, at the end of May, Dynamite Entertainment filed paperwork with the U.S. bankruptcy courts regarding Chapter 11 bankruptcy of Diamond Comic Distributors, now bought by Ad Populum. Dynamite is claiming that payments that should have been made for comic books and merchandise delivered should be counted as administrative expenses, with hundreds of pages of listings of items that had not been paid for. If successful, Dynamite would have received payments as a matter of priority. Diamond Comic Distributors Incorporated, the debtor, challenged this attempt. Now, into July, nothing on this seems to have progressed, and now Dynamite has asked the courts to hurry this along, saying that the bankruptcy rules allow the court to shorten notice periods, that when an act is required or allowed to be done at or within a specified time by these rules, or by a notice given thereunder, or by order of the court, for cause shown, may in its discretion, with or without motion or notice, order the period reduce. That was a lot of legalese, but basically what that just means is they can come in and say, all right, look, this is some bullshit, and look, fuck all this other, whatever the hell y'all talking about. This is fucked up, and I know normally we give these motherfuckers 30 days, but because of the severity of the situation, I want my shit now. You got till now to give me my shit, is basically what's going on. And this says, as I said, this is at a minimum. So it points out Dynamite is currently owed over $1 million for shipments made to the debtor and Ad Populum LLC, a majority of which are administrative expenses. Dynamite, a small company with less than 30 employees, does not have the funds to make payroll next week if it is not promptly paid by the debtor. and the debtor has filed a vague objection asserting potential set-offs, but has not communicated any such set-offs to Dynamite. Dynamite is aware of multiple other publishers who remain unpaid for millions of dollars of shipments post-petition.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's exactly what I wanted to say too. Because if this is just what Dynamite is owed,
right?
Holy shit! How much money they owe everybody else?
Yeah, because I promise
everybody else used Dynamite.
Yeah, no, it's like so. This is where that's kind of why this is so important to me, is because, well, for one, like, you know, I'm sure, I know for a fact they probably owe Image Comics some bread. They probably owe Boom Studios some bread. They probably owe
IDW for sure,
dude. Oh, they definitely owe IDW some bread. They definitely owe IDW. And you know what? Even though technically Marvel and DC kind of broke away from Diamond like 5 ever, and they still technically kind of came back to them, you know, on a smaller scale, I guarantee you, Marvel and DC owed some bread too. So my thing is, and this was what kind of pissed me off, is that you are, and this is why I say they fucking up the church money. And not just, you know, Dynamites, but they're fucking up, you know, the entire industry, you know, worth of the church's money because they mismanaged. They mismanaged or misappropriate. And I actually have some, and you know, while I hate that I have this, I hate that I have some bad news to go along with this, because they actually did go to court over this. They did actually go to court. They actually did get the hearing to address this. Here, I'm going to pull this up. Here, I'm going to get that out of the way just right there off top. But it says, as court denies Dynamite over Diamond comic creators rally round, and this is because, and I'm actually gonna share the link for this, but basically says, and yeah, I'm not gonna reiterate the shit that we just kind of looked at, but it says this week, or no, wait, let's go down, let's scroll a little bit more. Here it is, right here. Yeah, the Baltimore bankruptcy courts heard the case as to whether these procedures should be expedited in this case and decided the case was not compelling enough. Dynamite CEO Nick Barucci wasn't even allowed to speak on the matter. Basically,
somebody up there got to.
Yeah, no, it's got, like, no, there's some bullshit going on. There's some bullshit going on.
Somebody for you to not even let the Dynamite CEO, the person who is owed the money, you don't even allow him to speak?
Yeah, no.
Something else is going on with that, dude.
Something ain't right.
Something else. Because the one thing I don't like about this entire story, I'm absolutely going to let you finish this.
Yeah, you good.
All we're hearing is Diamond.
Yeah.
Diamond. You just brought up Dynamite CEO Nick Barucci. That's the first name we've gotten. I haven't seen from any of what I have read anything from Diamond. No. I would like names of these fucking
we need names.
I don't like that they're just the Diamond entity. I don't like that part of this.
No, I don't like it at all. And honestly, Jasmine, this is not a stupid question. This is not. This is actually a very well warranted question, because I will say, because even for me, for a while, I never really fully understood the comic business when I was reading comics as a kid or even as a teenager, but I was always kind of tangentially aware that Diamond was a thing. It wasn't until I was older that I really paid more attention to it. But yes, Diamond, basically what they do is, like, Marvel, DC, and Image, so on and so forth. They distribute those comics through Diamond, and it's basically kind of like it's for the most part almost exactly what you're saying. Yeah, Diamond, they basically take they pick up these books. There is money exchanged, because it's basically like hey, all right, the comic book companies are placing, or not comic book companies, the comic book shops are placing these orders through Dynamite to pick up these books, and it's kind of like a money exchange, whereas the comic shops are paying Diamond. It's basically how it works, and then and in that exchange of money, it's like, so the money is being transferred between the comic shops and Diamond to get the comics, and then there's money being exchanged between Diamond and whichever publisher to get those comics diamonds so that they can give them to someone else. And honestly, it's one of those things you would almost think maybe it would make more sense to not have all that shit consolidated in one place and just have people, get them from hey, just have the comic shop.
What
order
Bird Nerd just said, it's an unnecessary middleman.
No, and that's 100% what it is. That's 100% what it is. There is no need. Now, to be fair, I think the reason why publishers do this is because it's one less thing for them to have to deal with. But the thing is, it's that much worse because it's Diamond. It's that much worse because Diamond is the middleman, and they are fucking terrible. And I'll get back. Okay, first off, I just want to say too, the fact that Nick was not allowed to speak, and not allowed to plead his case, that's sus. That is wild sus to me. I don't.
For somebody who is now having to figure out how his entire staff, not a couple people, the staff in their entirety, you got to figure out how these people are going to feed their families, feed themselves, how they're going to pay bills. And you don't let that person say, we don't need you to speak. What kind of shit is that?
Which is bullshit. It is.
So somebody at Diamond, somebody knows somebody in Baltimore. Somebody knows somebody.
Oh yeah,
that is dog.
Dude, that is that
corrupt.
Is
not even sus. That's just corrupt.
That is naked corruption. That is naked corruption. And you know what? I would like to throw my hat in the ring alongside a lot of other comic pros, because we've actually seen already that some people have spoken out. Friend of the channel, Gail Simone, being one of them. Gail basically came out and said, "I urge every one of you to check this out." Now, actually, let me be clear on what I should probably not bury the lead. Let me not bury the lead. Let me double back. There is a Humble Bundle that is on right now, and I actually, I'm not saying you have to do it. I'm just saying that it would be nice if you did. If you have the means to do so, I actually think it would be a nice idea to, if you want to show some support. They have actually put up a thing where, and this is the whole point of this is to help Dynamite with their ability to make their payroll for their employees. And basically what it says is, calling all Disney fans, step into the magical world of Disney Comics with our latest collaboration with Dynamite Entertainment. All your favorite critters, heroes, and goofballs are here to entertain fans of all ages. Dive into the vibrant library featuring 50 comics starring beloved characters like Lilo and Stitch, Gargoyles, Hercules, and more. Discover amazing page turners based on your favorite stories and help support first book with every purchase. Now, and what this is to do is it's also gonna kind of help with the to my understanding with the operating costs, but you can also, like I said, you can pick up a lot of really cool stuff. Like I said, you got the Lilo and Stitch stuff. You've got Gargoyles in here. You've got Darkwing Duck. You've got Cruella de Vil and Hades and Scar, and Maleficent, DuckTales. Like I said, there's a lot of really, really cool shit in here. That I didn't even realize they had Negaduck in here. But basically, yeah, if you do the bundle, like I said, this is all the stuff that you can you potentially get. So yeah, I just, like I said, it's just something that I just kind of wanted to something I just kind of wanted to point out. But that said,
yeah, Gelsmo.
Oh yeah. So basically, Gail said, I urge everyone of you to check this out. Dynamite is an important publisher. They publish a variety of books no one else is doing, and she's not wrong. No one else is. like, yeah, there are some people that are starting to finally catch on to what to what Dynamite is doing and trying to kind of, hop on that bandwagon. I've noticed that, like, people like Mad Cave and Oni Press, they've been kind of leaning a little bit more into licensed property books the way that Dynamite has for a long time. But also not just licensed properties, but books that are actually targeted and aimed at younger readers, which Marvel barely ever does and DC sometimes does. But basically, she goes on to say, they publish a variety of books no one else is doing, and their loss will be a huge blow to the industry. Due to short-sightedness and more from other players in the story, Dynamite is in a position any publisher would struggle to overcome. These are good guys, the best guys. This is just not right. Please check out their Humble Bundle. I almost always buy them anyway because they are just huge armfuls of great comics. And as I had kind of said that just a moment ago, talking about what they offer. I mean, because here's the thing, it's not just the Disney stuff that they do to me is unprecedented because they've literally brought Disney comics back in a time where Disney comics were, I honestly never thought would be a thing again.
These Disney comics have no reason to have the level of quality that they do have.
No, they do not. They absolutely
that is
do not.
Insanity that a lot of these books are as good as they are, to where you don't have to just get them for your babies. You can get a lot of these books and enjoy those stories your damn self, and that's outlandish to me.
Yeah. Here, I'm putting the link to the thing in there now. So if y'all do want to check out the Humble Bundle, please, by all means, do. But carry on.
Yeah. But no, it's just, I just hate that. I commend Nick and everyone over at Dynamite just for going as hard as long as they have.
Yeah.
With getting the Disney stuff out, with getting a lot of their other stuff out, with talking about Gail Simone, just Red Sonja and what have you.
Mm-hmm.
Space Ghost and Herculoids and Silverhawk.
Mm-hmm.
To have this lingering in the back and still get a lot of really good creative teams on these books and still releasing these books at, again, the quality that they have is it's unprecedented, honestly. And I think Nick and everyone over at Dynamite should that they deserve a standing ovation just for that. For you, because anyone else I think would kind of like kind of close down the hatches and try to get in panic mode, but to still try to keep everything running as well as you could, still trying to figure out what the fuck your mill is wild. And I commend every comic book publisher and comic book imprint, you IDW like that, who's probably owed just as much money as Dynamite. I commend all of them for this. So these people, these comic book companies, they shouldn't be getting punished. And just keeping it on Dynamite real quick, just because that's the one that we're currently talking about. You not letting the CEO of this company speak and just immediately say, no, we're not going to do that. For this comic company to be punished for the mismanagement and poor choices of somebody else,
right,
is fucking sane to me.
Yeah,
that is insane to me, because that's what's happening here.
Yes.
If you're not even letting somebody speak and you're just immediately going to deny something that they are clearly owed, you're punishing them. That's what you're doing. 100%. I don't know if people aren't realizing this, or maybe the light bulb hadn't gone in fucking Baltimore, but you're punishing them for the money mismanagement of somebody else. That, like, what the fuck? Like, what? That is insane to me.
Burner, I was asking if we know how many employees. I don't know the exact number, but I know that it's not more than 30.
Apparently it's over. Yeah, okay. I was gonna say something like 30, right?
Yeah, it's like 30 or less than 30 employees. But I mean, like I said, I don't know all of them. I know some of the I guess some of the people either like at the top or who work in like the distribution or the marketing and merchandising side and the editorial side of things. I've spoken with I've spoken with those people, and like I said, there's nothing but good eggs. There's nothing but good eggs there. Y'all, like I said, when we were doing like the Dynamite claim sales, and stuff like that, it was that. I think we've done like what, 3 or 4 of those. For me, that is some of those instances I feel like kind of were really eye-opening for me, just because I got I knew some of these people somewhat prior, that I had a like with Amy, who I was always in contact with, who was the one who was always putting me in touch with a lot of people who were doing like writing and art for them and stuff like that. It was how a lot of y'all got to know the coach, the Mad Dog, Jeff, who's a lot of times in the chat, Comic Dunes. It just, I think that it says a lot. I think that it says a lot that with everything that's going on here with this, it's a crying shame. But I'm gonna go back and, like I said, I put the link in there for everybody. Like I said, that's the Humble Bundle. If you wanna go support that, I mean, I highly recommend it that you do, because like I said, they're good people who I think have been caught up in some serious bullshit to no fault of their own. But Joe Pruitt, another one, says, if you like comic books, please consider helping out my friends at Dynamite, as they are owed over $1 million from the disaster that is the bankruptcy of Diamond Comics, and buying something directly from them. Diamond is also trying to liquidate all their consignment stock stored at their warehouses, which should be illegal as they do not own it. They have some of my stock from the Desperado publishing days, which I also cannot get back from them, and I will have to file a motion in court to try to do so. Help Nice and Dynamite Gang if you're able to. Amanda Dybert, who we've had on the channel a couple of times to talk with, who is just a really awesome person. She went on to say, this is awful. Dynamite is a wonderful publisher to work with, and I'm so sad they're getting screwed like this by the Humble Bundle, which, and to be fair, a lot of the books that they're giving away, I want to make sure I'm clear on this, some of them are her books, like the Darkwing Duck stuff. That's her shit. So like I said, if this isn't something that I don't think that should be lost. So she's like, give my shit away so that we can help you get the bag right. And we've also got Sweeney Boo, who said Dynamite's Disney comics are available Humble Bundle, with a portion of the proceeds going to first book. And like I said, I think that it goes without saying. And like I said, we could probably spend a whole show talking about this, because I just want to show you guys just to show you a taste, because I actually keep this thing tabbed. I keep this tab bookmarked, because this is literally just a readout of the whole fucking saga. This is a readout of the whole saga of Diamond. Y'all see all that shit? Look at all that shit. Look at all that shit. Look at all this shit. This is just, it's garbage, man. It's garbage. It's garbage. Actually, I want to go back, because I just saw some. I actually did miss this one. Here, I want to see what they have to say. Let's see here. Okay, this is just them challenging the expense claim. This is they didn't really say shit. They're just like, they're basically just saying, we ain't giving you your shit. That's basically all that is. But I just, like I said, go check it out. And like I said, if you can help out, please consider it. Like I said, I'll be doing the same, because and full disclosure, I already have a lot of those books, so there you go. But I'm still gonna do it anyway. But that said, I want to double back a little bit because I want to show some love to our amazing audience. Devontre, a little bit before the stream started, popping in with the Blur Club Silver. We also got a gifted membership that Devontre gave out before the show started. Shout out to you for that. I can't show it, but like I just want to make sure y'all know that that I saw it. We also got over on the Twitch side, Word DJs has followed us over there. We appreciate you for that. We've also got Ganko, who's become a member of the Blur Club Gold Mine. These I actually can show because they're just right here. I don't know why I forgot to hit the button on that. We also got our Xerox21 donated 5 through Super Chat. Said, hey, just came in. I found out Mark Miller interviewed Eric July in a new video. What you think? You know what?
This was a rage bait ass Super Chat, if I can keep it a buck. I think this is just some cornball ass dude trying to rage bait you for a response about Eric July. Honestly.
Well, you know what? Yeah, this is, man. Look, I, you know what? It plays. It plays. Because honestly, I don't have a whole heap of a lot to even say about the whole thing.
Either.
Really.
Yeah. Like,
well, it's a. I mean, I don't mind the question because I mean, it's a reason. Because honestly, I didn't know about it, but I'm not surprised by it because these people all move in the same circles. Because I just recently found out that apparently, Zachary Levi, Shazam, apparently, he's talking to, apparently he's talking to Rippa.
To the surprise of no one, if you've seen anything that Zachary Levi been doing, we are way past Chuck with that fucking goof.
Did you know that motherfucker is still got Shazam up as his profile pic on Twitter?
I can believe it.
But yeah, he did a thing. What was this? This was let me see if I can find it. Because I screenshotted it. I screenshot it the other day. When I saw it, but basically he let's see, where is it? Yeah, here it is, right here. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, basically someone basically said we need to get you a meeting with Eric July in the Ripperverse. Just excellent comics without the BS. Which, can we just keep it a buck? No, that's not true. That is not true. They are not excellent comics, but they are definitely full of BS.
Even that, but like, what the fuck is Eric July and Zachary Levi going into a conversation? You got a dude that's doing his own brand and version of comics, and an unsuccessful DC superhero actor. What the fuck are y'all gonna talk about, dog?
No. And let me add an addendum to that. Who cannot find work right now because of his fucked upness.
So, like, what the fuck? What kind of conversation could they have? Hey, bruh, heard you right now here in these movies. What else you got going on? What the fuck? Because in that conversation, this will be the only time you. Well, no, I can say this. This is fine. In that conversation, Ripper is the successful one,
which is crazy.
So what the fuck are they gonna talk about?
Like, there's really nothing they can.
Want to waste time talking to Zachary Levi? Nobody want to talk to Chuck.
Me.
What we talking about, bro?
Ain't nobody trying to look. Ain't nobody trying to see Chuck no more. Okay, ain't nobody trying to see Chuck no more. Look, as far as I'm concerned, both of them are to the Shadow Realm. As far as I'm concerned. But I mean, no, I actually think that. I think it's fine. I think it's fine. I personally, I think it's all hilarious. I think it's all hilarious that this is all happening. But yeah, the whole thing with Mark Miller talking to Eric July, like notice, okay, you know the saying, judge me by my enemies? I also think you can also judge people by who they collaborate with and where they're at. Let's look at this. Who are the people who Eric July has been working with? They're all people who are on the outs. They're all people like even Mark Miller, who, to be fair, let's keep it a buck with Mark Miller. Well, yeah, he has lots of popular franchises. And yeah, he scurried off to Dark Horse. And yeah, he got his Netflix bag. But let's be clear on something. What does he have out right now that anybody's talking about? I don't hear anybody talking about his books no more. Ever since he came out with that abhorrent ass fucking attitude, towards people who rightfully criticized him, and then he threw in his lot with Comicsgate because he thought that would get him a bag. I mean, yeah, I almost kind of feel like him running a Dark Horse was just him trying to get some money before the ship sank. And after that, has anybody been talking about Nightclub? Has anybody... How many people are still talking about, what was that, Big Game? How many people are still talking about Big Game? Who talking about Prodigy anymore? Who's talking about the Ambassadors anymore? Like, after all that shit happened. Because I know there's going to be somebody that's going to be like, well, you talked about... Yeah, before, but after, what did you see me do? I literally told y'all, I actually had tons of videos prepped because I was really enjoying some of the stuff that he was doing right now. Because I was like, dude, he's actually kind of straightened himself out. And then he turned right around and went right back to same old Mark Miller. And as far as, I'm concerned, yeah, I don't even want to disrespect Michael Jordan by saying this, but that's like saying, like trying to act like, yeah, man, him, Air July getting hooked up with, Mark Miller, like it's such a great thing. Yeah. If you consider that if this is Jordan when this ain't even Jordan on the Wizards. This is Jordan when he was playing baseball. Like that's what he's got. He couldn't even get Wizards Jordan. That would have been better than Jordan trying to play baseball or whatever the fuck. So like
you got me wanting to do something after we're done today.
What's that?
I actually want to look up Mike's baseball stats and compare them to Bo Jackson. I just want to see if Bo was shitting on Mike when it came to the baseball.
He probably was.
I want to see now. I don't know. You bringing that up just put that thought just right in my fucking head.
Look, who is the superior pro star? Who's a superior pro star? But no.
Ooh, I got a triple threat comparison. I'm going to put his numbers up against Dion. I got to put him up against Coach Prime.
Oh, Coach Prime.
You done gave me something to do now, dog.
Okay, I see.
Just don't know that. It's funny just because don't nobody talk about Mike playing baseball.
No,
they
it was
blamed him in Space Jam about his
baseball. Dude, he got lit up.
I want to see how bad his numbers were compared to two other folks who was doing.
Yeah.
I got to see that.
No, he got cooked. But related. He said, "My apologies.
Yeah.
If I was rage baiting, I just wanted to know your opinion. I like watching videos for input and to think about." No, I didn't think of it as rage bait. Honestly, I felt that it was a legitimate question. It's because I didn't know. I had no idea. And honestly, y'all are the only reasons I ever know sometimes about how these people move. Because I don't really, for as much as I always joke about Air July, I actually don't really think about him very often unless somebody else brings him up. I don't actively look for shit about him. And it's usually only when someone else puts his chicanery in front of me that I even consider what's going on with him. But and the only reason I found out about the Zachary Levi thing, once again, wasn't looking for it, but someone was like, "Hey, did you see that video that that actual fandom did talking about how Rippa is working with Zachary Levi and they're gonna make White Isom?" They're gonna pull the Black Panther where they make Isom white.
I would like to move on now because you lost me at Wisom. That's what you just lost.
Not Wisom. Hey, they're gonna cast Ryan Gosling.
You lost me at one.
They're gonna cast Ryan Gosling. No, you're good, Xerox. You're good. Don't even sweat it. We also got LP3 here with the 5. So speaking of comics having no business being that good, shout out to Carter for the recommendation on the Harleen Black Label book. I'm enjoying it.
That almost got put behind me, but I wanted to keep it. I wanted to keep it Daredevil this week since I finally got that first arc.
There you go.
But yeah, I was.
That's only one you need.
No. Okay.
Well, I mean,
Everybody.
as far as the
If you want the
core
Carter
Daredevil.
and Blerd Without Fear run of Daredevil when it comes to Chip Zdarsky, okay, you got two options here. You can either get 4 oversized hardcovers and Devil's Reign. Just stop. Or you can go Carter route, and I'm pretty sure Ernie's gonna go that route when everything is in for him. You can go the Ernie and Carter route of you get the first Omni, which is issues 1 through 30, and then you get the volume 4 hardcover, which is issues 31 through 36, and then you get Devil's Reign, and then sit the fuck down somewhere.
Yeah, that's
You
it.
ain't got to touch nothing else. You ain't got to get another Omni. Technically, all you got to do is get one Omni and a hardcover. You ain't got to worry about no Red Fist saga. I know you might miss seeing U.S. Agent get whooped. Look it up on YouTube.
Yeah, that's it. Look it
So
up.
man, you ain't got to see none of that. No, just right,
Carter. Isn't it sad? Isn't it sad that that's the best part of the chips of that back half of the? I don't even want to call it the back half because it's really like the back fourth of the Chip Zdarsky run. Isn't that sad?
And you know what's good? What's even better for you all if you want to go the Cardi? I said the Cardi. I just combined Carter and Ernie. Jesus Christ! If you want to go the Carter and Ernie route of the Chip Zdarsky Daredevil run, getting Devil's Reign is actually really good because Devil's Reign has a good enough ending to where you ain't even gonna know that the Red Fist shit exists. That shit ends with Matt wondering what he's gonna do now. He's gonna try to do something with Elektra. Kingpin gonna ride off into the sunset with Typhoid Mary. You don't even know what's gonna happen after that. So yes.
Oh, that's a good ending.
Yes. It is so. The Devil's Reign is so complete with that. And then the oversized hardcover I'm missing. That's it.
Damn. Wait, is it? What if I want the softback trade papers? Sorry in advance.
Well, if you want the softback trade papers,
it was a joke. It was a joke.
Yeah, no, I know what it was. They know I can't say. They try that shit on Twitch streams too, and I banned them.
Are you gonna get the softback trade paper?
I don't like that you added that English accent with it, but
that's how he said it.
You're looking at I think maybe like 7 or 8 trades, and then the Devil's Reign trade. If you want to go that route, that's a lot of trades. I'm currently finna have to deal with that bullshit with Invincible. I got 15 more of them motherfuckers to get.
Goddamn.
But yeah.
You know what? You actually kind of set us up nicely. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna shift gears right quick. And for those that don't know, Invincible. Invincible is kind of back in the conversation like never before because of the Amazon Prime animated series just being so lit. And but what I like about what Image is doing with this, and it's probably more Robert Kirkman than it is Image, let's be honest. I appreciate that they are, recognizing that they can make some bank. I think Battle Beast has taught them something. Have you been keeping up with the Battle Beast, the Battle Beast book? Have you been keeping eyes on that?
No, it is your fault.
Why? What'd I do?
2 things. One was my fault because I don't remember when we talked about the Battle Beast book coming out originally on the Blerd Cave.
Okay.
I thought Battle Beast was supposed to be just 1 issue.
Oh,
Just
no.
Okay, so that's first thing. Second thing, the day I'm going to read Battle Beast, I literally got this motherfucker pulled up to read. What do I get? I get a message from this dude. Hey, Carter, bruh, have you read that Exquisite Corpses?
Oh.
That motherfucker James City and Crazy. Exquisite Corpses?
Nigga got a card game. He got a March Madness board in the back, Carter. This motherfucker James Tinian crazy as fuck.
I did.
It's completely his fault that I have not read that book because I've been reading.
Dude, Exquisite Corpse is good in the motherfucker, man. Look, hey, I ain't gonna hold you. I mean, that motherfucker lit. Look, I'm not look. I keep trying to tell y'all. See, y'all don't find out this shit unless you watch Best Comics this week, because I like to save the lit shit for Best Comics this week, because it just, I'm sorry. Look, there's books that I like to read, and then there's books that I love. A lot of the videos you see are the books that I like. But when I'm on Best Comics this week, I'm talking about the books that I fucking love.
So here's the funny part. I say, well, Ernie, I didn't really. World Tree kind of fell off for me. It was like he was trying to do that one book Injection with just a naked chick in it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know about Exquisite Corpses. Oh no, nigga. Exquisite Corpses is off the chain. Exquisite Corpses is cold the motherfucker. Oh, okay.
Bruh, talk to him. Talk to him.
Ernie, I just finished it. What'd I tell you? That shit was cold the motherfucker, wasn't it?
Yeah. Dude, but that's the thing though. That's the thing though. See, I'm glad Mutep said it. Exquisite Corpse so good. So a girl said we should put it in the pull list. I'm telling you, dude, let me tell y'all, man, Exquisite Corpses is lit. Like, and here's the thing, man, dude, this is gonna turn. I didn't mean to deviate, but I have to. I'm sorry, Invincible. I have to deviate just right quick, please, just right quick. I'm gonna do a little quick deviation. I'm sorry. I gotta do a little quick deviation. I'm not gonna show you the spoiler bracket.
Okay.
But I am going to show y'all the original bracket. These motherfuckers got a goddamn March Madness bracket for the killers. For the killers.
That was funny when I saw that.
Bruh. But yeah, they literally came up with a March fucking Madness goddamn bracket for this shit. And yes, Exquisite Corpses, basically what you need to know, if you are not familiar with this book, for whatever reason you're not familiar, basically what they did is it's a story about this little kind of sleepy town where this secret organization is basically this organization, they're the leaders. They're basically they're the world leaders. They're the secret elite world leaders. And basically while they control everything, they're the ones that are puppeteering the world behind the scenes. And really more America specifically, but still they're basically the Illuminati. And while there's I think there's 13 different families that run everything, there's always one family who has more power than the rest. And what this game does, it's basically like if you took Battle Royale and The Running Man and Hunger Games and shit and throw it into a blender and and what was that movie, Boy Kills World? Throw it all into a blender and hit puree, because basically what they're doing is each of the families comes up with a representative, someone who represents them in the game, and they pick a place where the game takes place, where everything's going to go down, and each of the killers goes into the zone, and it's up to them to be the last one standing. Is basically what it is. And I just want to show you guys some of this stuff because it's just so. I'm trying to make sure I pick only the ones that
love the cover, because I told you this, but that cover in this character, they was ripped right out of Liza P.
Oh no, 100%.
I'm like, that's clearly from Liza P.
Oh,
but
100%.
You brought up The Running Man, Ernie. Did you see that trailer?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. So, okay. So you know what? The Running Man, I'm okay with it because I'm glad that they're not trying to remake the movie Running Man. They are trying to adapt the book, The Running Man. And while I think that The Running Man with Arnold Schwarzenegger is fuck it. I'm going to say it. I think The Running Man with Arnold Schwarzenegger is a borderline perfect movie. It is a borderline perfect movie. There is very little about that movie I would fucking change. And I often tell people The Running Man is one of those movies that people do not realize how it shaped the world we live in today. The Running Man is responsible for 1, deep fakes, 2, reality TV as we know it, and the way we know more about what goes on behind the scenes with game shows, and it also teaches you a lot about corpo activity, like corpo mentality. And what happens when corporations are in charge of where you live, of society.
Yeah.
But what I do like, I like that they got Coleman Domingo to basically step in as the Killian of the story. But yeah, for those that were confused about why the movie seems so different than why the remake seems so different from the original movie, it seems like this new one is based more on the book. Because the original Running Man, yeah, like I said, it's borderline perfect movie, but it is not a good adaptation. It is not a good adaptation of Stephen King's, or rather his side name, Richard Bachman.
Both. So that's where Joe Hill got that shit from, because it happy do it.
Okay. But yeah, but I will say this. Also, did you ever notice that the one cat they got in here, Recluse, is basically Miles Morales if Miles Morales was a serial killer?
I think you told me that.
Yeah.
I think you told me that.
Look, the Recluse is one of the assassins. He's black. He's got a spider theme. He's got razor wire webs, and I think at one point he does like electrocute somebody with them at one point, which I was like, bruh. But yeah, basically what they do is they introduce all of these different killers, and like when you see him, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, this is gonna be like oh yeah, Rascal Randy. Like they're all like goofy or like really weirdly themed characters. And basically, they're all dropped in this town. They all have to procure their weapons and their gear, and and whoever is the last one standing, their family that they represent becomes the family that's in charge. But also, the people who live in the town, they are fair game.
Completely unaware.
And they have no idea what's going on.
They make it a point to show and then this is in the first issue.
Yes.
But they make it a point to show the sheriff getting paid off.
Mm-hmm.
You don't tell nobody nothing. You don't say shit. You take this money, because I think it was a lot, but you take this money.
Yeah, take this money and
you get the fuck up out of here. You get the fuck up out of here.
The sheriff was like, well.
Oh,
he said, take the money and run.
Especially when you find out the other stuff when it comes to the sheriff, like this. Oh, this nigga ain't shit. Like,
yes, it's wild. Yeah, this
is your town that you are over to protect these people. If I get you bad, can some of my buddies just come in here and run roughshod like old girl off Power Family?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
For real. It was nuts.
Oh god. I loved it. I absolutely fucking loved it. But yeah, it does also have like, yeah, it's there's a lot to it. But I didn't mean to go
read that book. Go read that book. Absolutely. But
put it in your toolbox. Yes, please.
There you go.
But because Battle Beast, the Battle Beast book has been doing, which I think Battle Beast has 2 issues out right now. I think there's a third that I think might either come out this coming week or the next week. I don't. Okay. Yeah, I honestly do not remember.
It might be the week after, because I think the second issue is new.
Yes. You're right. The only reason I can keep up with it because Ryan Otley is always talking about it, which and rightfully so, because the book is fire. Invincible Universe Battle Beast ain't got no business being as good as it is. This book is goddamn cold and a motherfucker. And when you see that motherfucker just breaking the motherfucker that he's talking to, we saw this in the previews where Battle Beast is talking to some dude whose head is stuck in some giant pillar. Man, I ain't gonna lie, that shit did not go the way I thought it was gonna go, and Battle Beast was just out here beating ass. Out here. Oh, God, love to see it. I fucking loved to see it. Like this right here. I'm just gonna show you this, and we'll keep it pushing. When he hit this dude right here, and all them teeth came out, I was like, oh, bruh, let's go. Let's fucking go. Battle Beast did not give not one single solitary fuck in this issue, and he didn't give one in the next one after. But what's going on here is, because of the success of Battle Beast, and rightfully so, Image is starting to recognize that that they can make some bank off their side characters. Invincible is not the only marketable character anymore for the Invincible brand. Not to say that it wasn't that way before. I mean, it was back in the day. Back when Invincible comics were like brand spanking new, they did actually do other books besides Invincible. So none of this should be surprising to anybody, but Image is now being reminded of this, and because Battle Beast did so well, they are now going to be re-releasing Tech Jacket as a compendium.
People have been begging for this one. Like,
yes,
absolutely. Or let me not say people, but like Invincible fans as a whole have been clamoring Tech Jacket.
Oh, 100%. And the thing is about Tech Jacket is that, and I think this actually bears some recognition.
And there's somebody in the chat. Dreams come true.
Dreams come. Hey, there you go. See, look. And here's the thing. If I'm not mistaken, let's see. This collection, this is going to be a compendium that is going to collect the original Tech Jacket 1 through 8, and the digital miniseries and the 2013 run from Joe Keatinge and Kari Randolph. And it's going to feature, obviously, a new cover by the co-creator E.J. Sue and Dave McCaig. So there's that.
Compendium 1. How many?
Yeah.
How much fucking Tech Jacket was out there? Y'all would have to put me on game.
Yeah.
Didn't they also re-release Astounding, or I think you mean Astonishing Wolfman?
Yes.
Re-release?
So yeah.
I think there are just some out. Oh, okay.
No. This is getting re-released as well. And here, look, and for those that want to know, this one is going to have the full 25 issue series of the Astounding Wolfman plus Invincible number 57, which I think is where he first appeared.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be it says the collection highlights Wolfman's battles, alliances, and surprising twist, all within the wider Invincible world. And yeah, this is and for those who don't know, this is like, these are characters that we've already kind of loosely seen, to some degree or another, on the Invincible animated series, which I think is also kind of cool because we're kind of reaching that point in the animated series where we're gonna start seeing, I'm not gonna say like more of these characters, but it's gonna make a lot more sense for these characters to be around, because both Tech Jacket and Wolfman were characters who had some pretty, I would say, decent sized features. Excuse me, in the core Invincible series. So yeah, we're gonna be getting that, and honestly, I'm kind of hoping that if these do really well, I'm really hoping they do more, because these weren't the only characters that got books.
So
yeah.
I think a lot of those, because I see somebody in the chat saying, wasn't there a Guardian series too? I think a lot of that was
Yeah.
collected in a previous. It was called the
Invincible
it was
Universe.
called the Invincible Universe
Yeah.
Compendium. So that's where a lot of those like single issues or one or two issues here. Invincible Universe presents, because Battle Beast again was not the first Invincible Universe presents thing. So I think a lot of that was just in that compendium, but a lot of people have been begging. I know they've been begging for that Wolfman.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I've seen it on InStock several times. It's been like several different like complete collection, like thick little trades. And Tech Jacket was one that had been out of print for a good long while, just because Kirkman, I guess you could say rightfully so, saw that the money was on Invincible. And if it was getting collected, it stopped after a while because Kirkman was releasing the Invincible library editions. And if you don't know what a library edition is, it's like that Miracle Man Absolute I had. He was releasing that he was releasing Invincible in that format, and then stopped.
Yep.
And then a couple years ago, like relatively recently, he finally finished the rest of them. So now everybody can get those complete. So and that was the thing with Tech Jacket, and you've all seen this with like to where we've said it before. If you don't get that first trade when it drops, you just out of fucking luck with me.
Well, and you know what? I actually think that because someone asked about the Guardian stuff. They did do Guardians of the Globe. They actually had, I think, 2 different miniseries on that one. I would not be surprised if we actually did get like a Guardians of the Globe compendium. So, I mean, like I said,
the only reason I even know, well, I was gonna say the only reason I even know that shit existed was because it was in a comic shop. Because you got to remember how old these books were. That book was coming out when Hickman was on Avengers.
Sure shit was. Sure shit
yep.
was.
So yeah, because I would always see those Invincible Universe Presents books. So going back to the main point here.
Yes.
You're getting Tech Jacket. You're getting Wolfman. I never read either, but I've seen so many people talk about them so fucking much, especially Tech Jacket. I'm really interested in seeing what's up with Tech Jacket to see what all the fuss was about.
Yeah.
What about you, big dog?
I liked. Okay, so full disclosure. I liked Tech Jacket. I never read the entirety of the series, but I did like Tech Jacket because I have a huge love for, and this isn't a secret to anybody, I have a tremendous amount of love for the Guyver, the anime and manga series Guyver. And the thing that I thought was really cool about Tech Jacket was that Tech Jacket was yet another superhero who was basically a naked homage to Guyver. Because the other one was Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle Jaime Reyes is literally just Guyver with the serial numbers filed off. Like literally, down to the letter. Down to the fucking letter. Even down to Kaji Da being little bumps and shit on his back. When he's not in Blue Beetle form. And Tech Jacket, while not 100% like a naked homage to Guyver, in look, he most certainly is. His look is damn near the Guyver. And I love it. Like, it's just with little subtle changes. He's basically legally distinct Guyver. And that's not a knock against the character, because honestly, I think most characters are just naked copycats and pastiches of other more popular characters. Look at Marvel and DC's catalog of characters and tell me they don't copy shit from each other. Look no further.
Thing and Man Thing want to have a conversation with you right now.
Right? Doctor Strange and Dr. Fate would love to have a word, okay? Deadpool and Deathstroke, they want to holla at you, pimpin'.
Oh, man.
Okay. And Namor and Aquaman? Come on now.
Hey, Oh, but the Dark Side Waller has a question. 'Cause I think he sees Compendium 1. What's the difference between an omnibus and a compendium? Literally,
Yeah.
compendium paperback, omnibus hardcover.
Yeah.
A lot of these.
Sometimes compendiums can sometimes be hardcovers though, but I will say this. An omnibus oftentimes has more than just the book. I don't know about the soft.
Yes.
I almost said softback trade papers.
You're a sicko. You're a sicko.
You have to put me on game about this, Carter. Did the non, I guess like the trade
Compendium of
paper
Invincible?
compendiums, did they have any back matter in them?
No.
Okay,
No.
so
'Cause
that's been,
I had the because I see what is. See, you got back matter in there.
oh
That's
no.
new.
All this is just like a little small. This is
Ads.
it. That's all it is. Just
I know,
ads for
but that's the thing though. With compendiums, normally they don't even have that.
Oh, gotcha.
Compendiums are literally just the issues.
Right.
Period. No ads like Ernie just showed in that hardcover Invincible compendium. No ads about other shit. No covers. It is literally just you putting every issue of your comics on top of each other and trying to read them. That's all a compendium is.
Yes.
A omnibus, like these two bad boys, it's that same format, but there's going to be some extra stuff in there as well. A lot of people will go the compendium route just because it's paperback as well. Me, I don't like that many issues in a trade because that's why I have Wicked and Divine back there, and it still ain't been read yet. I don't know how you read East or West, big dog. I don't know how you do it.
Very carefully. Look. This is what you do. See, you don't see. First off, you don't like just try and hoist that motherfucker. You got see what you need to do. You need to get you one of them.
My problem.
Get you one of them. Get you one of them podiums. Get you one of them podiums like they be having in the church, where they sit the big ass Bible on it, and because that motherfucker like this big, you can't put it on nothing. Just sit that motherfucker on that, and then that's how Immortal Hulk gonna get read. I'm gonna lay that motherfucker across and be like, all right, now when we turn to Immortal Hulk number 48.
Gonna look nasty because that's
12,
at the end.
chapter 10. And be
You
like,
got all that thick ass issue on the left side, and then this little squiggly shit on. Ugh.
be like, it was here where we saw Devil Hulk put Red Harpy in the coquina clutch. I'm just saying.
More often than not, compendiums are always going to be the cheaper option to the more affordable option. Even though, if you've seen how compendiums look,
I like them both. Like me personally, I prefer hardcovers because to me, when I see a hardcover, I think, oh, this is more sturdy. Like it's not like it won't get damaged as quickly. So
that's why Wicked and Divine and East of West, like, bruh, you could have did Compendium 1 for East of West, Compendium 2 for East of West, Compendium 1 for Wicked and Divine, Compendium 2 for Wicked and Divine.
Because like you look at like this right here, like this this Dr. Afra, it like I could have gotten like the just regular ass like soft bound.
Do a side profile just to give it a better idea too. See, look at that. That's readable. That's readable.
So like
this Daredevil, absolutely readable. See, look how skinny that is.
Also, I love that, and that's something too. Like, when you get like and really most hardcover books, most hardcovers. I'm just gonna lay that down because I'm not gonna try and like fit that back in there. But most hardcovers, you're getting something in the back. You're gonna get some back matter. You're gonna get some like I actually really like how they did with they actually did this with the milestone compendiums, even those I actually wish they did those in hardcovers. I really wish they would have, but I'll take what I can get. But I liked how, at least with the milestone compendiums, they still gave like cover galleries and stuff like that. So but yeah, look, as far as to what this all might lead towards, will this lead towards maybe a new series for Tech Jacket and Wolfman? I guarantee you, if Wolfman and Tech Jacket compendiums do really well, don't be shocked if you start seeing like a Invincible Universe Tech Jacket, Invincible Universe Wolfman series come back. Don't be shocked if you see you see like
I think that's what they're trying to do with these. See how much 100%. These sell, since y'all keep talking about it. If these sell a certain amount, maybe we'll give you a mini. Because I don't see them doing a full-on run of this. I think they might do what they're doing with Battle Beats. You might get a quick 5. We give you a quick 5. We'll see how those 5 sell. And okay, those 5 sold really well of Tech Jacket and Wolfman. Maybe I give y'all another 5. Let me check my agenda.
Right.
No, because see, I got to do this Transformers too. See. So I think that's where we get. Y'all might get a good 5 of Tech Jacket and Wolfman and be happy.
Now, one thing I'll also say too is now y'all got some time before these drop. Tech Jacket is not going to drop. Tech Jacket and Astounding Wolfman, they're both going to drop on Wednesday, November the 19th.
Tell y'all to pre-order those.
Yes.
Absolutely. If you can pre-order those from your shops or something,
yeah,
I would absolutely tell you to do that, because
40 a piece.
Those I could, and see, that's another thing. I could absolutely see those selling out quick.
Especially Tech Jacket. I can see Tech Jacket going like that.
Especially Tech Jacket, for sure. I agree with that.
Oh, no. Tech Jacket, it's already gone.
Pre-order.
That should already gone. They're like, man,
I would tell you, if you want those, you better pre-order them. Don't. It'll be in the shop when I get there.
Don't do it.
I pity the fool.
That's actually how I justified it to Cynthia when I was like buying so many hardcovers and shit. I was like, if I don't buy them now, I either will never be able to get them again, or have to wait like years, 5, 10, maybe even more than that to get them again. Or if I can buy them, I'm gonna have to basically. I pointed to my Sandmans. And she was like, "You right." She was like, "You right." Now, what I want to do, just right quick. I kind of want to make, before we get into, because we're going to talk about X-Men. I promise you, we're going to talk about X-Men. We're getting there. I actually wanted to share something with you. Y'all wanted to talk about a humble brag? Nah. I got a humble brag for y'all's ass. I got a humble brag for your ass right here. For one, I told Carter about this, and I think we talked about it Thursday briefly. But your boy got something special. For those who don't know, this is issue 13 of Feral. This is actually, oddly enough, before I even found out what was on the back of this book, it was already so far my favorite issue of the series so far. Because for those who don't know, this is the issue where the cats are trying to break into PetSmart so they can finally have a safe haven from all the rabid animals that are walking around trying to kill them. But that's not the best part. And Carter, you're going to get a kick out of this. So y'all saw this book in the bagged and boarded. Y'all saw it with the cover facing, but that's not how I received it. I had to order this one because my local shop doesn't carry it. But Midtown Comics is goated because I think they saw the name that was on the order.
Oh, wow.
And when they sent it out to me, this is how it came. For those who know, yes, that is me. Ernie Carruthers, Blerd Without Fear, that is me. This is my first back of the box quote. I'm back of the box quoted. I am quotable now. You know what that means? That means I'm somebody. That means somebody said, man, look, Blerd Without Fear, he said this, and guess what? Papow! Right here. This is right here. Feral says, imagine a zombie apocalypse from a cat's perspective. Pretty wild stuff. Highly recommend. That is actually a quote. I actually had to go back and look. It's actually from my Stray Dogs video, where I kind of briefly talked about Feral. So I'm somebody now. I'm somebody. Y'all can't tell me shit no more. Y'all can't tell me shit. I'm somebody. Okay? I'm somebody.
You was somebody before that.
I was, but now I'm really somebody. Oh, and also I picked up this. Actually, shout out to Midtown Comics. I don't know how many people use Midtown Comics. I use them, but Midtown Comics is really great if you want to pick up some shit that your shop ain't keeping in stock and don't want to act right. My shop did not keep very many copies of the Mr. Terrific series, and I really wanted this Mitch Gerard's cover, which I don't know if you noticed, but this is actually basically just a cover that they had used for was it Strange Adventures? It was actually part of one of the Strange Adventures covers, but this is just, it doesn't have any of the other shit that was on it. It's just the Mr. Terrific part. I was like, yeah, let's go. But yeah, but yeah, I actually really dug this. You know, I thought it was nice. This was a nice little, because I'm not gonna hold y'all, when I read it, I had no idea. So I was like, oh shit. I wasn't the only one that was quoted either. I'll just put that out. I know Comic Tropes, they got quoted.
Doing that, we ain't talking about them. Whose channel are we on currently? We talking about your code right now.
You're right.
We ain't got to give props to other people that probably already have given themselves props right now. We talking about you.
You're right.
No,
you're right. Well, to be fair, I was okay with them putting my whole government on there because basically my government's out there, so it's not. I'm a public figure, so my shit is very much not hidden. Not hidden from anybody. Like anybody can find. Like that is like, I mean, to be fair, you could really pull me into court on any of those names. But yes, yeah, no, I'm all in. I'm all in. The thing though that I kind of also wanted to share too is that your boy had to do some soul searching. Basically, the long and short of it is, we got the first issue of Heart of the Darkness off to the letterer, so he's taking care of that as we speak. So it's getting, that first issue is getting lettered, and I've kind of been just working on other stuff. I had already written the second issue thereof. But I also, some of y'all know I was working on something else, and actually, you know, I was so proud of myself having written something else that I kind of had to go back and take a deeper look at it, because I took some feedback from people that had taken a look at it, and you know, they kind of gave me, you know, some notes on it, and I was like, you know, let me take those notes. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna do something a little different. I went back and actually rewrote the first issue, not of Heart of the Darkness, but of the other book that I'm working on. And because it didn't, because writing like one character, like where there's one main character, that's one thing. I actually think that's easy. In comparison to writing multiple people. And I was given some tips, some pointers, some notes, and I went back and redid it. And now I can officially say I have a script in front of me for that thing. But basically, yeah, I got, so yeah, right here I have in front of me, Black Adams. Number 1, Let Me Tell You Who I Am, that will be getting worked on here real soon. I actually got a fresh stack of comic book paper. There you go. Comic book paper is so weighty. Oh man, it's so good. But yeah, I'm gonna be drawing on this big ass shit right here. And yeah, your boy has been finding himself. And the reason why I'm going to do it that way, I'm going to do it on actual comic book paper. I'm going to actually draw it traditionally, but I'm going to do everything else however else. And I I'm only gonna do it that way because I have discovered that I just get better results when I draw on actual paper. It's just that's just a reality. Yeah, that's just a can I do, shit like this digitally? Yes. However, it is difficult for me to get everything the way I want it unless I'm on paper. So, but yeah, I'm gonna be doing a lot with some of you have been following me on Threads have probably already seen some of this stuff, but yeah, like I've basically just been kind of doing my thing, figuring my shit out, and yeah. I think tomorrow we are gonna start. I'm gonna start with I think that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna start saving Sunday as my day to really like kind of sit in here and just draw. I actually kept thinking about getting someone else to do it, but honestly, I think I just want to do it myself. I think I'm just gonna do it myself. I'm more of a believer in me. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. But yes, hey, you know what, Birdner, you're not wrong. Plus, you can sell the originals. Look, I just want to be like Jock.
Hey, that'd be nuts. Ooh, that's so what I was thinking too.
The Jock was out here.
You sent me that post.
Yeah.
And if y'all don't know what we're talking about, Jock posted on Thread an original piece of his that he drew. But it was so crazy to me because I knew what that image was because I had Black Mirror. That was Black Mirror being it was a Detective Comics story arc that was written by Scott Snyder, that was drawn by that was drawn by Jock, excuse me. It was during Dick Grayson's tenure as Batman. Because I remember that shot. So something that old for over $250,000, like,
yeah, it's like 288 racks, almost 289,000 racks. But yeah, like I've been having a good ass time. I've been having a good ass time doing my own my own analog stuff. I need to actually scan those so I can get them on the computer so I can ink them. Because that's like the only that's the way for me now. We're gonna be doing analog art on the boards, and then like moving it over to a digital platform to like ink and color. I'm not gonna color it because fuck that. But I don't know. That's what I need to do. I need to find a color artist. That's what I need to do. I might. You know what? No. What the fuck am I doing? I know color artists. I wonder. You know what? Let me shut the fuck up. I actually know a color artist, so you know what? That's what we're gonna do. I'm just gonna hit that motherfucker up because he cool. We got sometimes you forget you got the Rolodex. You forget you got the Rolodex of people you can talk to. And the Baron right here just said it right here. Boom. You say, yeah, absolutely, man. The feedback from the paper, ink, etc. is just different. Kudos, brother. I'm on the same journey. That's dude, let me oh, man, I got shit. So like the more I keep fucking with my like kind of leveling up my own like analog shit, the more I just realize that yeah, this is the way. I'm like, yeah, now this right here, I was like, this is what we do now. We don't do shit else. Cause yeah, it's like I feel like I can do I feel like I can do so much more. I feel like when I do it like this, you know, like I feel like I can just like I was like, dude, my shit. I'm a bad motherfucker, dude. Look, don't play with me. Like, and when I'm on, especially when I'm on like on Bristol board, I am way too fucking confident. So yeah. But when it comes to ink, I'm not confident. So yeah, because I'll fuck a page up in a heartbeat. I'll fuck a page up in a heartbeat. I was so mad at myself the other day trying to color something analog and fucked it up, and I was like, ugh, got mad, threw the whole thing out. But that said, those are all my little personal announcements, and now we can kind of talk about our last thing. Carter, did you hear the news? Did you hear the news? That we're getting a new era of X-Men. We're getting a new era. They haven't told us a whole heap of a lot about it, so it's not really a whole heap of a lot to say. But they gave us enough information that I think we can kind of speculate on some shit. For those that don't know, we have what is effectively going to be known as the Age of Revelation.
What's the revelation? Y'all should have let Krakoa last long.
I mean,
I don't want you dorks to start up again and being toxic toward people. All these Krakoa glazes. I don't want y'all. Okay. Please, Ernie, continue.
So basically what's going on is basically we had the From the Ashes era, which is basically, you know, the post Krakoa era of it all. And, you know, now we're getting the next era that starts this October. Now, once again, we don't have a lot of information, and technically the most recent issue of X-Men kind of addresses this on some level. Whether or not anyone gives a shit is another story altogether. But yeah, it's going to be the Age of Revelation, which is largely in response to Cypher now being known as Revelation after the Heir of Apocalypse. Now, the thing they put in here, and it seems like Marvel's doing that thing they do. I don't know how this is going to play out, but basically they say X years from today. Basically, which, you know, is just to say that, yeah, they're jumping 10 years ahead in time. I don't know.
Again.
Huh?
We're going back to that stuff again.
Yeah.
I read that fucking Hellfire Vigil, and y'all started talking about the year 1000, 3000. So look, it's all good. You know what? Let me stop. Because there's literally a comment in there saying Carter is playing with fire right now. You're right. I'm gonna stop.
Well, but here's the thing. You're not really like, okay, look, I y'all know me. Y'all know how I have had some people tell me that I'm a Krakoa hater. How, I have no idea, because I literally dedicated my channel to the Krakoa era X-Men for the better part of 5 years. I feel like almost 5 years, give or take. And that was even at a point where people were telling me that the shit had fell off. I was still the person who was like, nope, it's still good. You can't tell me otherwise. And then
it's not being a hater.
No.
When you just want to move. That's not hating. That's not hating.
No.
What are we talking about?
Look, what I look like. Okay, here. I got the perfect example. What I look like if my wife says, hey, I'm leaving. There's nothing you can say. There's nothing you can do. She's like, I got to go. I can't be with you no more. That's it. Like, okay, all right, what you want me to do? You're like, no, you got to fight for it. You got to fight for Krakoa. You got to fight for it to get it back. It's like, well, no, the motherfucker literally just said, like, there's nothing, this is it. There's a wrap. It's a wrap. What I look like still trying to hold on.
You don't look like T'Challa marrying a whole different woman, but still got statues of fucking Storm posted up in fucking Wakanda for no reason. That's what you go look like, sir. That's what you go look.
What?
I was one of the biggest fucking fans of Krakoa. I was one of the ones that was high key annoyed. X book from the Ashes stuff that would dunk on Krakoa.
Yeah.
Because that's just what they was doing. I was one of the main ones. Guess what I did? I moved on.
That's
A lot of y'all had that problem. Ernie laughs at me about that shit all the time when I can just stop reading something because I'm not enjoying it anymore. I won't dunk on the creative team. I won't go in on them on Twitter or anything like that. I will legitimately just leave it alone and go find something else. A lot of y'all have that fucking problem. A lot of y'all. And it's weird. It's fucking creepy when y'all are going in on people on social media and all the other shit. Like, oh, dude, just move on.
As much as I didn't like that one issue of NYX, did I like go into like some kind of a tirade calling Colin Kelly and Jackson Lanzick out their name and talking about their mama and sending death threats and saying that they ain't shit, that they don't know how to write? No, I didn't. When I criticized Colin and Jackson about what they did with NYX in regards to Sync and Prodigy, that came from a place of love. Because see, that's the thing. I think a lot of people don't realize there's a difference between being called out and being called in. Like, a lot of people saw what I did as calling them out. No, I was opening the door to call them in. I did it publicly, but the thing is, when someone calls you in, they bring you in. That's not me. Like, because me calling them out would be like, man, they can't write. They're terrible. They need to be fired. No, that's me, and that's also being childish too. But I pointed out, I was like, dude, these guys are normally good writers. They normally do really good work. I had actually enjoyed NYX up to that point. But the way that Sync and Prodigy were written in that moment, it felt like people who have never watched two black men have a conversation with one another. That's what it felt like. And honestly, I don't think that they should have written that issue. I think maybe, and we would not have gotten any Prodigy or Sync if that was the case, but I feel like maybe they should have either deferred to somebody else or just not included that. Maybe save that for another book. I said the same thing about Jeffrey Thorne when it came to X-Force. Whole brother. I love him to death. He's a great guy. But that X-Force just wasn't hitting like that. I'm sorry. It wasn't. And it wasn't me saying, oh man, Jeffrey Thorne's a terrible writer. He can't write shit. No. I was like, I've read good books by Jeffrey Thorne. I've read plenty of good books by Jeffrey Thorne. That's why when I just said it in this week's Best Comics This Week. When I talk about the new Captain America that just dropped, I said the same thing about Chip. I was like, I love Chip. Except for that Batman. That Batman, man, that Batman was something.
Mr. Pibb. That was Mr. Pibb.
Yeah. Look.
That right there. I said it on the Blerd Cave. That's Dr. Pepper. That Batman was Mr. Pibb like a motherfucker.
Oh, yeah.
Woo. That Batman was Dr. Thunder. That's what that was. It was Dr. Thunder. That's what that was.
Like, we talking store brand like a motherfucker. But I was like, dude, it's... and the thing is, how many times have y'all heard us praise Chip Zdarsky on this show? We literally... have talked about this man's work. So yeah, when it came down to it, yeah, I get it. Like, and I even told people, I was like, yeah, if you don't like this fucking new From the Ashes shit, don't fucking read it. Don't fucking read it. Like, if you don't like it, just don't. But I will say, when people tell me there's nothing good in it, I'm like, okay, stop, because there is some good shit in it. It just might not be what you want, but you can't sit here and say it's objectively bad. Yeah.
Or those people that you'll say, then just move on. Now, this is me saying this. This is not Blerd Without Fear saying this. I don't need any of you all bothering him with what Carter said, and then I got to hear from him. I'm going to flame y'all ass even worse. Be mad. But this is me saying this. I don't like those people to where they're constantly, like the folks with Zeb Wells. I saw somebody saying that Carter does what Spider-Man fans can't. True.
Someone asked me that the other day.
To this day, that people are still going in on Zeb Wells about Spider-Man shit, and he not even on the book anymore. and then you call those people out. Or yeah, I deal with somebody like this in your fucking Discord. They fail back on the freedom of speech. It's just my opinion. Shut up. I'll punch you in the face. Shut up. We don't need to constantly hear that. The book is Krakoa is gone. It's over. It's done with. I can give constructive criticism as to why a thing is bad. What a lot of y'all do isn't constructive criticism. I don't think you all know what that word. You all will say it's constructive criticism, but I feel like y'all don't know what that word actually fucking means. It's not constructive criticism what y'all doing.
Well,
it's not.
No. I want to point, and I always like to keep this screenshot handy because it's wise words by one of the GOATs, Tim Seeley. There's a subset of fandom whose view is that if anything isn't for them, it must not be for anyone. Your goal as a creator should be to never ever make anything for those people. And that those are words I could make that a house motto. I can make that a house motto. That's a like that is quite literally the epitome.
Message.
That's the epitome of that. And for me, I have found things to love in the From the Ashes era because I was like, you know what? If I cannot have Krakoa, if Krakoa must go, I will let it go. But if I can find something new to like in any of this other stuff, I can get jiggy with it. But like, yeah, that's why I keep saying, like, I love Jed MacKay's X-Men book. I love Gail Simone's Uncanny. I love Murewa's Storm. And I like Eve's Exceptional. Do they do what the Krakoa era stuff did? No. But they're trying to do something, else. Now, do I like when they go out of their... And not to say, I don't think Gale has done this. I don't think Murewa has done this. I don't think Eve has done this. And I don't even really think Jed has done this either, even though I know some people consider the whole thing going on with Magneto to be a slap in the face against Krakoa. I don't really see it that way. I think that's just the chickens coming home to roost. Because I think I said this back, and I think a lot of people forget this. I said this back when the Krakoa era was going on, it's still going strong, is that there are going to, like when people were complaining about, oh, well, mutants can't die. They can't die. So that means there's no stakes anymore. Nothing matters. I was like, yes, stuff still matters. Stuff still matters because the mutants still feel those deaths. They still remember some of those deaths. And if they don't, they lose portions of time. I said, that is already a negative on its own. But there will probably always be some level of a price to pay for that kind of your ability to cheat death. You have to have it. It's a check and a balance.
It's stupid as fuck that you have to explain that because what you're explaining is in the very same comic that both of y'all are reading. Because that's why you're complaining about it, because you're reading it. So just like I always go back to, and it's something that I was already felt that way, but hearing it spoken out loud really just checked the box for me. Go back to our interview with Ryan Stegman and Donny Cates.
Oh, yeah.
Donny Cates was about to take over Hulk. Right after Immortal Hulk. And people already had shit that they were saying about it before the issue even came out. One thing Donny Cates said to me, same thing he said to you. Immortal Hulk ain't going nowhere. Immortal Hulk is right there for you to reread if you want to your heart's content. I'm doing this. Me doing this is not taking away from Immortal Hulk. From the Ashes being a thing is not taking away from Krakoa. If there is anything you like from Krakoa, hopefully you got it on your shelf. Hopefully you got it on your phone from Global Comics. Hopefully you got it somewhere. I got it on my shelf. I know Ernie probably got it on his. I know X1, Devontae, Bird, Deck It Out, Aaron, the infamous Mike Manhattan, Jazz, Arcane, Pioso, G Martinez. I guarantee y'all got it somewhere.
Somewhere.
So there is nothing stopping you from, if you liked a thing,
Mhm.
going back and reading that thing.
And you know, to really kind of send it home, you know, I think what people, man, look, okay, I'm gonna say this, and then we're gonna just
He
talk
want to
more
say something
about.
so bad.
Look, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna move on to the revelation part of it, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. Not everything in the Krakoa era was good.
He had his head down. He was going to give y'all a truth pill. He make y'all swallow that. That's why he had his head down.
Yeah, y'all look. Look. I'm gonna need y'all to like do here. Take this water and swallow this shit, because you ain't gonna be able to swallow that pill without some water behind it. Look, it's not every book was good, okay? And I remember people used to fight me on this shit. I remember when people asked me, "Hey, Blerd, what do you think are the books that are must reads for the Krakoan era?" And whenever I would, oh, well, what about that book? What you left out this book? You left out that book because it's not important. As a person who was reading literally every fucking thing that was coming out in the Krakoan era, I can tell you, trust me, if anyone can tell you, I could probably tell you better than Marvel could tell you what was important. And that's not yeah.
Blerd Without Fear don't know what he talking about. Everything from Krakoa was good, while y'all not buying Excalibur.
Right?
Like,
Right? Because here, look, I'm going to run you down.
Not buying Marauders.
Because
Y'all are nasty. Y'all
look,
are so nasty, bro.
Because look, I'm going to run down these motherfuckers in alphabetical order. Alpha Flight. I loved it. I thought Ed Brisson did a great job, but it was not important. Astonishing Iceman. While I thought it was a fun book by a friend of the channel, not important. Betsy Braddock, Captain Britain. It was fun. Not important. Bishop War College. Fantastic book. Not important. Cable by Jerry Duggan. It was fun. Not important. Cable by Fabian Nicieza. It was fun. It was all right. Not important. Children of the Atom, a book that I really enjoyed from a friend of the channel. Not important. Children of the Vault, really good read. Not important, but more important than most books that are not important. Dark X-Men, fun book, not important. Dead X-Men, weird story, whole lot of promise, really not important. Excalibur, it had its moments, not really important. Fallen Angels, yeah, there you go. Not important. Y'all already know. All the different giant size X-Men one shots. I think maybe one of them was important. And most of them had story arcs that got dropped. Some of y'all didn't even remember them till they got brought up in something that came up later. The Hellfire Gala one shots were important. Hellions, fun book. Not exactly required reading, but it does explain some shit. I think it's a fun book, but ultimately, if you didn't read it, you don't really miss anything. You miss out. I will say this: if the only reason I can say this important is that it does in that series explain a little bit better why clones were not really allowed on Krakoa. That's the only thing that I think actually makes it important. Doesn't make it not good, but it is fun.
Real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
You brought up Dark X-Men. Can we bring up something that set you off last week when I confirmed something for you?
Oh, yeah, I tell you what, let me finish and then we'll come back to it. Let me finish and we'll come back to it. Because if I don't, I'll forget everything. Immortal X-Men, required reading. Invincible Iron Man, not required reading, but it is fun. It gives context for some of the stuff that happens a little bit later. But still, not required reading. Jean Grey, I love that series, but it is not required reading. Yeah. Knights of 10. Knights of nothing. Knights of, you don't got to read that shit. Legion of X, cool book, not required reading. Marauders, Volume 1 by Jerry Duggan. I do think Marauders is required reading. Volume 2 by Steve Orlando, not required reading. Miss Marvel Mutant Menace, not required reading. Ms. Marvel, the New Mutant, only really required just so that... Actually, no, fuck that. It's not required reading. New Mutants, Volume 1, I think is required reading. New Mutants, they did a second volume, not required reading. I think it was called The Lethal Legion. It's good, but it's not required. Realm of X, realm of don't need to read. Rogue and Gambit, no, not required. Oh, okay, no, I take that back. There is an aspect of Rogue and Gambit that does make it required reading, but it's only really like just to know why Manifold isn't around. Sword, I think, is required reading. Sabretooth, and I'll also include Sabretooth and the Exiles in this. Fantastic books, 2 of the best stories you'll get in the Krakoan era, not required reading. Storm, which technically didn't have shit to do with shit, not required reading. Uncanny Avengers, I could make a case for required reading, if only for the Captain Krakoa of it all. Uncanny Spider-Man, fun book, not required reading. Way of X, also fun book, not required reading. Wolverine, no, not required reading.
They read every issue.
Yeah, not required reading. Wait. X Corp, not required reading. X Factor, I actually would make a case for X Factor just for the sense that they did kind of explain more about the resurrection protocols. X Force, definitely required reading. And what was the other one? X-Men by Jonathan Hickman. You could kind of make a case for that not being required reading, but it does give context for a lot of the shit that's going on in Krakoa, so I'm gonna say yes, required reading. X-Men by Jerry Duggan, very much required reading. What was it? X-Men Forever, required reading. X-Men Red, required reading. And what was the other one? X-Men, not X-Men, X-Terminators, not required reading, but is a very damn good book. And I haven't even gotten to the story arc yet. House of X is required. House of X Powers 10, that's required reading. X-Men in Fantastic Four, not required reading, though it does give context for some shit that comes later. I still would say that's just the work meaning it could have been an email. Ten of Swords, that shit is only required reading after the fact, because of some shit that comes up later in X-Men Red. But otherwise, once again, they tell you in X-Men Red, so you ain't got to read that shit. Trial of Magneto is sort of required reading. Inferno, required reading. 10 Lives, 10 Deaths of Wolverine, not required reading. Sins of Sinister, required reading. X-Men Before the Fall, required reading. Resurrection of Magneto, not really necessary, but I mean, you can read it if you want to. It's good, but it's not required reading. And Fall of the House of X, and Rise of the Powers of 10, that's required reading. Look at all those books I just named off. How few of them did you actually need to read?
And here's what you're not understanding, LP3. You said you don't think Wolverine gave more context to X-Force. It did, and it did a few
only
instances.
The later
but
half.
He's talking about he's talking about X as a whole.
Yeah, as a whole.
Wolverine was just off doing his own shit.
Yeah,
that's not required reading.
The only thing that that was required, that would make it required, and like I said, we're talking about like just a trade at best. We're talking about a book that ran 50 issues, y'all. We're talking about 2 books that ran 50 issues, and only like I think maybe 1 or 2 of them trades out of the 50, which would be like 10 issues, 5 or 10 issues at best, are required reading. Just for context on X-Force. So yeah, trust me. I'm not. Oh, you know what? AXE, I left out AXE Judgment Day. That, just the core titles. That's it.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But you were saying about Dark.
Okay.
X-Men, and then we'll get back to
Real
Revelation.
quick, because X1 got pissed at X-Force 50. I'm going to tell you something that's going to make you and Birdner even more mad.
Oh,
Because it made me mad. The final hardcover for X-Force came out this week. It's the last 12 or last 11, excuse me. Ernie know why. That's why he laughing. It was issues 39 to 50. That's the rest of the X-Force series. You all know I enjoyed that series. Marvel is price gouging like a motherfucker because
Yes.
first 3 hardcovers for X-Force and for a lot of the hardcover Krakoa stuff,
Yeah.
$45. $45 for 12 issues, right? Even though DC just gave me Dark Knight Steel 12 issues, fucking $25. Anyway, the final hardcover of X-Force with the rest of the entire series, they bumped that shit up to $75 for that hardcover. 11 issues for $75, especially considering that last issue wasn't the best. So technically 10 issues, 10 good issues and 1 bad one for $75. I sat there and told Ernie that shit. Ernie laughed his ass off in 20 minutes. But what we were talking about prior, Ernie was telling me about, because Ernie brought up Dark X-Men, which was something that was not required reading. Ernie and I was having a conversation last week, and he was telling me about the that had come out last week that was explaining. Well, you know what? This is your word. This you'd want to hit me. You tell it.
Oh yeah, it was the thing about Madeline Pryor.
Mm-hmm.
Like what Madeline Pryor did to Havoc, which I don't remember if I ever actually like talked about. I don't remember if I think I wanted to make a video about it, but I kind of got mad in retrospect and just, I think I might still make a video about it. I don't know. But I'll just basically put it like this. There was a book that came out it was about 2 or 3 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. It was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago? Okay. So, yeah, about two couple weeks ago. It was called X-Men from the Ashes, Demons and Death. And I thought, and here, I'm going to pull this up just so y'all can see it.
Sorry, I'm looking for myself for you. Yeah, this.
And this was a storyline. So when I initially saw the book, I thought it was going to be like some like just really big like one shot. It's actually 2 different stories, each of which focuses, like there's one first story focuses on Madeline Pryor and Havoc. Second story focuses on Omega Red. And basically with this, the Madeline Pryor Havoc part of it, it basically is a follow-up to Dark X-Men and bridges the gap between Dark X-Men and X Factor. Because some of y'all might remember when you get to X Factor, okay, or actually let me put it like this. Let me give you guys proper. I want to give you guys the most proper of context. So that way, like, I don't want anyone to be able to come back and say, Blerd, you're not representing this correctly. No, I am representing this 110 million% correctly. So some of you may remember in Dark X-Men, Havoc got iced. He got iced. He got lit up. I'm talking stabbed in the throat. And basically he was, for all intents and purposes, he was killed. For all intents and purposes, that motherfucker dead. But he comes back to life. And when he comes back to life, we see him and he's all like, you can see here where he looks kind of like pale and pasty and shit. And then when you get to the, kind of some of the later issues of this, whenever we do see him, like his body is all like kind of, what's the best way to put it? Like, it just don't look right. Like here, like I'll show you right here. You can kind of see here, like, oh yeah, like his body's all like it's like his power is like not responding to his flesh and it's basically what this book does is it makes it clear why that's the case, and it's because what Maddie did to him is she didn't resurrect him, and she didn't make him like she wasn't like making him a zombie either, really. What was actually happening was she was putting demon flesh on his body. So whenever he uses his powers, because, naturally, his body, his own flesh, can withstand his power. Demon flesh can't. That's why every time he uses power, his skin got fucked up. But then what you learn, in the midst of that, the demon flesh, what you learn is that, well, yes, Maddie was applying demon flesh to him, but it wasn't because that was the only way she could save his life. They basically just make it clear that the reason why she did that is because she actually did have the power to fix him. She had the ability. She had the sorcery at her disposal to basically put Havoc back as if nothing ever happened to him. But they decided to make it so that she did it because she knew that if she fixed him, he would leave her. She was afraid that he would leave. And I hated that shit because it basically, this is why I was talking about how, like, sometimes I feel like the X office is being real petty about that Krakoa shit, like always dunking on it and shitting on it. It's because what was one of the greatest redemption arcs in all of Krakoa, it was the redemption of Madeline Pryor. And then they just basically made her petty all over again. And it's like, yep, fuck all that character development for Maddie. Kick that shit to the curb. And then, on top of that, you had the Omega Red story, which the Omega Red story was the Omega Red story. This is what it is. But the reason why I'm kind of ranting about this is because Carter revealed something to me, because I'm talking to him about this. And he's like, man, that sounds mad familiar. And the more we talk about it, he's like, yeah, that was in X-Men Unlimited, like, earlier this year. So basically, what they were showing was some shit that they basically were like, yeah, we gave this shit away for free, but now we're printing it and gonna get y'all to pay for it. And I'm like, dude, y'all could have just kept this shit. Y'all could have kept this shit.
The whole thing.
Yeah. Like, and not just the Madeline stuff, but the Omega Red shit. It was all of it.
So when he's describing the Omega Red story, yeah, I mean, to be honest, I didn't just read it because it was kind of boring. But it was like, well, he went back home. I said, wait, because the story is supposed to be telling you what Omega Red is doing after the fall of the House of X and all that shit there.
Yeah.
And the more Ernie describing it, I said, dog, I felt like I read what this motherfucker is describing. And sure as shit, this issue on your screen right now, they charge y'all at $4.99 for 2 weeks ago, was a Marvel Infinity comic from last August.
Yes, that you could have read for free. That you could have read for the free. Now that said, you know, like I said, there's a reason. Look, okay, Tom Brevoort is never beating the allegations. No. Tom Brevoort is never beating the allegations that he hates the Krakoan era, and I'm not here to try to convince you otherwise. However, what I am gonna say is, in regards to this, in regards to Revelation and what is happening with that, what I am gonna tell you is that, do I have faith in Cypher being the new Apocalypse? Yes, but I'm gonna tell you why. And it has nothing to do with this bullshit. This was some bullshit. X-Men Era of Apocalypse is more like X-Men Era of some bullshit is what it is. This story arc is hot trash. But the one good thing that I took away from it was, at least, if we do get a new Apocalypse, maybe he'll be cool. And then they made it Cypher. Cypher is now the new Apocalypse. He goes by Revelation now. But I will say, even in the midst of all that, I was like, you know what? He's going to do things differently. He's not going to do the whole survival of the fittest thing. He says, no, I'm going to reveal to them the error of their ways. That's why he is the Revelation. That's why he chose the name. Or rather, why Apocalypse chose the name for him, which, to be fair, it's basically, Revelation is just another way to say Apocalypse. It's like, when you talk about the meaning of these things, they're the same thing. When I put the video out for X-Men number 19, this issue, and I'm not going to spend any time really talking about too egregiously, but basically we got confirmation of what Cypher is plotting to do, and that he has a new ability that has been tacked on to his current power, that he can now command any sentient being with a thinking mind. He can basically make them do whatever the hell he wants them to do, basically on some Purple Man shit. And notice that he looks different here. I think they figured out real fast that
Gold Member wasn't it?
Yeah, Gold Member was not the way. I think they figured out this right here. This wasn't it. This was not the fit. This was not the fit. And the thing is, it took him a while to get back to this, and I understand why. But now we know that when they talk about the age of Revelation, this is ultimately this is ultimately what they're talking about. They're talking about this. And what we got here is that we're seeing, they're talking about, 10 years from today, the age of revelation. So basically, I can go and tell you right now, this story arc is going to, like I said, I'm speaking out of turn because once again, I don't know what's going on. I don't have any inside track that y'all don't have. They have not given any information about this. But just based on this, I am getting X-Men Legacy vibes. For those that may or may not remember, some of y'all might remember the Age of X. Some of y'all might remember that story arc. Not Age of X-Man.
Okay, that's where I thought you was going.
No,
you sicko. I thought you was going there.
No. Not Age of X Man, just Age of X. Back when Cyclops was calling himself a basilisk as opposed to being Cyclops, where it showed an alternate future. I think this is going to be more like that. And honestly, and kind of similar to Age of Apocalypse, how it's an alternate future, the same fucking vibes. I think this is just going to be another alternate future that is probably going to ultimately get unfucking done. We got to remember too that we're also talking about we're in and around the same time frame as the original Age of Apocalypse. We're hitting on that anniversary of that story arc, and I think that's and this is probably stuff that you could just be like, well, duh. But yeah, just look at all the shit that's going on in the background. The fact that here, I'm gonna pull this up so y'all can see it a little bit bigger. But look right here, you see all this shit. You see the Shield helicarrier in the background. Laid down like on some Deadpool and Wolverine type shit. You see Cyclops and a bunch of other characters tied up, strung up the same way Wolverine was on that slab of X back in the day. I think that at the end of it all, this is just going to be the Age of Apocalypse for a new era, and whether or not Cypher, or rather Revelation, is the ultimate architect of all this, which I'm pretty sure he is. But I think the real story is going to be how we get to this point, because Revelation doesn't want to fight the X-Men. When we get to the end of that last issue, X-Men 19, he's talking about how he needs the X-Men. So I think the real question is going to be, what's going to get us here? Are we going to get a, how many of y'all, I know Carter, you remember this, but how many of y'all remember Legion Quest? How many of y'all remember Legion Quest? How David Haller went on a quest to try and take out Magneto and accidentally shot Charles. Mostly because Charles got in the way. But yeah, but still, that was what kicked off a lot of people forget about that shit. That's what kicked off the Age of Apocalypse, was Legion Quest. A lot of people forget about that. And I feel like, what story arc are we going to get? What's going to happen? What are the material conditions for this to be a thing? And that's where I think the story is. Does Revelation have his own horseman? Technically, yes. Look no further. Here, let's pull this up. Look no further than right here. That's two right there.
His lady and his boy. You can't do no wrong.
No,
you can't go no wrong in there. But here's my thing.
Yeah.
Here's what I'll ask you, because you did make it a point to say. He needs the X-Men. He wants the X-Men to help. Now, since you and me have been around the block a few times,
right?
Storylines will go. What's to say that he does need the X-Men, but let's say that once his plan is finally just in full view of everyone,
right,
the X-Men are going to go along with that. And then if you bring back that initial image, well, now that they see what time it is and what he on, we're not going to be with that. Oh, okay. This, I'm wondering if Apocalypse is going to be involved in this in any. because he kind of doing double duty right now. He was getting whooped and rescued by Luke Cage over in Timeless, and he's also in Deadpool and Wolverine that Ben Percy is doing, but he's in the Strife body. That's the body he had made. That's a whole plot that a lot of y'all may have forgotten about, but that was supposed to be the thing with Cable and Strife.
Fucking God. Oh my God, dude.
So and people think it's Strife, and then the twist is, nope, it's actually Apocalypse. That was supposed to be a body for Apocalypse on some M. Bison shit. So I'm wondering if Apocalypse is going to be involved in this, or are whatever creative teams on this book, on this event, going to strictly leave it to Cypher, and then we get to see, what's up with this character now. We're going to see how he's written. So it's or here's a better question for you. How do you feel about in 2025 we getting another age of for the 99 and 2000 generation? How you feel about us going back to that plot thread again?
I mean, honestly, I feel like whenever Marvel reheats leftovers, it doesn't always go well. I feel like, how many times can we redo a story? Because case in point, all Age of X was just another version of Age of Apocalypse. It just happened to be good.
Yeah, and
it just happened to be good.
Instead of Apocalypse, it was Legion. It was me, Austin. Legion all along.
Like he snatched that shit off. Like he snatched that hood. It was me. God damn it, I did it.
He snatched that shit off, and his hair was perfectly just stuck like it did.
And you know what? Honestly, part of me wonders if 3K will have any bearing on what happens here, because we saw in the Hellfire Vigil, 3K has revealed themselves to the world at large. They have made their presence known. They are no longer fucking around and bullshitting. They also have their own version of the X-Men. And I think that's something that we can't forget. Cypher never says which X-Men he needs. He could be talking about the uncanny X-Men. He could be talking about the exceptional X-Men. He could be talking about the adjectiveless X-Men. He could be talking about just random X-Men, just individual X-Men. Or he could even be talking about the 3K X-Men. You never really know. And something that I kind of wondered about, because we still haven't learned the identity of the main member, the leader of 3K. We haven't seen him unmasked yet, and I think that's going to be coming very soon. I feel like 3K is going to play a pretty heavy part into this, and I think what we're going to be getting is just Age of Apocalypse, 2.0. At the end of it all, and then something will happen. The story will get undone, and we'll be back to whatever the next era of X-Men ultimately winds up becoming. That's all I got. Yeah, and here's the thing. I don't think it's a bad thing to revisit storylines, but I do think it's kind of weird to go back to them thinking that you can, dude, the fucking hubris to think of ooh, man, y'all remember that shit we did way back that everybody loves? Yeah, we could do it better. No, you can't. Stop. Don't try. Stop fucking trying. Stop fucking doing it. Just leave that shit alone. Just make new shit. Can you do something that kind of plays back to some of those things or calls back to those things? Yeah, sure. But it's kind of like what I said when about Civil War 2. Civil War 1, great story. Kind of weird in some spots, and there are some characters acting a little out of pocket than maybe what they normally would, but ultimately, good fucking story. Civil War 2? No. Y'all went back to the well and found out the sumbitch was dry. You can't keep doing this. We can't keep living like this. But I don't know. I'm going to go with it. I think we're going to be learning some more details about it next week. So maybe, or if not next week, the week after. But until I see more, I can't. I don't know. I can't say much else. I can only tell you what I think is going to happen. But I think, yeah, they'll I tell you what they'll do. They'll definitely kill off some characters. They'll definitely show some characters get broke, smooth the fuck off. But it won't matter because everything is going to get put back the way it was. So there you have it.
Okay,
Let's we got some super chats I want to hit before we move on to our recommendations and
Yeah, we did
questions.
recommend it, remember?
Oh yeah, we did do You know what? Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, keep it going then. We got Barrington Edwards here with the 1999 super chat. Says donation to the comic boards and India Ink Fund. Hey, dude, that you know what? Real quick, I just found some pens. I found a pen and a pencil that I really fucking like, so that actually is gonna help me out. I actually found these pens, Catatex. They got some really good pens. They like you can get like I think you can get them individually, but like you can also get them in a pack. I actually really like these pens. These are really good pens. Also, I got this right here. This is it's a Kuru Toga mechanical pencil. And I also, where did it go? Where did I probably put it somewhere and misplaced it, but I don't see it directly in front of me right this second, but basically the long and short of it is I actually got it with some blue lead, and I'm in love. I'm absolutely positively smitten. Oh, here it is. My desk is a mess. That's why I can't find anything. But yeah, I also got this is a Unibrand blue mechanical pencil lead. Really love it.
Make no damn sense. I thought that was a damn USB drive.
Man, right? Look, wait here. Look, you just slide that to the side and stick it in your computer. But yeah, these are actual like blue lead mechanical pencil deals. Really good stuff. Great. I like using the blue. If the blue lead, I really love it because it just makes it easier that when I do ink, I can just, if working digitally, you almost don't need it. But like when I'm drawing like an inking analog, it's easier for me to like ink when I have the blue lead. So yeah, good. It's really good shit. So and a nip a hen dog for Carter. Hey, be careful that hen dog, man, because that hen dog is what got Shannon Sharp fucked up. That hen dog is what got Shannon Sharp out here slipping up. Be careful. Also we got Dalton Leppert with the $4.99. I actually saw this the last night before I went to bed. I don't know if you saw this, Carter, but I sure fuck did. Kevin Nash went in. Said Kevin Nash absolutely bodying MAGA chumps on Twitter yesterday. NWO for life. Now, did you see what Kevin Nash said?
No, that's news to me.
Yeah, right here. So, Kevin Nash says he didn't celebrate the 4th of July holiday because we're not the home of the free. And he actually said more than that. But there's actually more to the whole story, and I think I might have like reposted or reshared it somewhere or another. Yeah. But basically, yeah, Kevin Nash like went in. He went in on them, basically just talking about how what was it? He called it. He said, was it happy? I think he said happy 4th. Yeah, this is what it is. This is it right here. Bam, found it. Yeah, he said happy 4 more trillion in debt day. Never felt this proud as we continue to destroy the empathy we once held for those less fortunate. So I guess happy wealthy white 1% day. Enjoy your small regional hospitals while you can. Things just continue to get greater. happy 4th. And, but yeah, I was like, dude, I love to see it. I love to see it. Cause it's real easy for old heads, like old wrestling heads, people like the OGs of the wrestling world to be cooked. It's normal that like y'all would be shocked at I don't know, actually people who actually follow wrestling, maybe not, but like, I think a lot of people who just kind of casually follow wrestling, you'd be shocked to learn how many of them are like diehard Republicans. Diehard, like just straight up, just drunk off the Kool-Aid. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. And right here, and someone else, and I actually want to point this out too, because Kevin Nash actually said something to somebody who tried to talk some shit back to him about his stance on this. This is actually great. I'm gonna move this out of the way. Someone came back and said Kevin Nash's net worth is estimated to be around $7 million according to Celebrity Net Worth. And Kevin Nash responded and said, yes, and I get a tax cut and a neighborhood of underprivileged children. He said, I get a tax cut and a neighborhood of underprivileged children lose the one meal they could count on each day. I'll add my deduction to a food pantry. Which I was like, dude, that right there. Dude, what can you say to that? What can you say to that? Like how do you argue with that?
Wolfpack had time that day, didn't it?
Man, right? Look, you know what I just thought about? Could you imagine?
Boy.
Could you imagine Big Daddy Cool on the grill? Like he got the tongs in one hand. He over here flipping meat. Probably got a cigarette in the other hand. He's and his phone beat, and he got the cigarette hanging halfway out his mouth. And he sitting there, he hold up his phone.
I got destroyed on Twitter by the Russian. That's funny. That's funny.
He just like, nah. He's like, I got time for this motherfucker. He almost had let the hot dogs burn. 'Cause he out here cooking motherfuckers. Love to see it. Love to fucking see it. Oh, we also got Ben Loudly out here. Says, so right now, Cypher and Superman are the only dudes in comics with solid wives and best friends. Man, bruh.
That's funny. That's
bruh. Why you, wait. Why you got to bar up the comics industry like that, man? Why you bar him up? That man just shot. He just... Why you have to light him up like that? You ain't got to hurt him like that. Right? Like, what is going on? Like, dude, like... Shots fired! I mean, I'm just saying, dude, what are we doing here? Oh, he said, meanwhile, Spider-Man got Paul.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Wait, you know what I love about this? Man, Zeb Wells is gone, and Spider-Man is still haunted by the ghost of Paul.
What's funny about that is Flash actually had to check him in All New Venom this because Flash and Venom had a plan they were trying to do. They was kind of low key, and then he just came in and fucked up the whole
bruh.
So Flash had to just kind of check him real quick, like you basically fucked up what we were trying to do. Then Robbie had to come over and tell him like you are talking way too loud in the middle of the street where a fight just occurred that has several innocent bystanders with their phone out. You stupid ass Zeb Wells creation. So,
bruh,
that was pretty funny. That was pretty funny in this week.
I gotta share something with y'all. I never thought. Oh my god, dude! I love Kevin Nash now. Kevin Nash has some fucked up takes about modern wrestling, to be sure. But I'm gonna tell you what, one thing you ain't gonna find fucked up about Kevin Nash is how he feels about white people. Dude, look at this shit. I hollered when I saw this fucking post. I found this on Threads. Motherfucker said, my favorite genre of Kevin Nash is him clearing out the Cracker Barrel.
That's funny.
But wait a minute. Look, Kevin. He's. Look at it. I ain't even gonna try to repeat what this motherfucker's saying. I ain't even gonna try to repeat this shit.
Not the Alabama double wide. Jesus Christ. That's funny.
He eat them up. He eat
That's
them up. Good God Almighty.
That boy tearing that boy said, nah, he is done with the jokes. He is done with the game. He about to tear up everybody's Twitter quads. Jesus Christ.
Look at this shit. Look at this.
That's the super crackers. I didn't even know that. That's like the Masters of Evil or something around here. Man said the super crackers. Jesus.
He said some shit. Wait a minute, he ain't done. This is the abortion debate. It's simple. If you don't have ovaries, you don't have a say. This is a pure woman's rights issue. At what point do we honestly draw the line between state and church? Let the women of our nation decide what they decide for their bodies. Apparently, whoever responded to him.
Tell you why too. When notifications blew his quad. The notification blew up that dude's quad. Whoever acidic Vegas is, his quad exploded because all them notifications that he was getting on his phone of people liking Kevin Nash's tweet and flaming his ass. So instead of him just muting it like a smart person would, he just deleted the whole thing.
He's
even
like,
though
"Hey,
we
get it
can
outta
still
here."
see who Kevin Nash was talking to, so they don't still get your stupid ass for whatever you said. That's funny.
Oh my God, I fucking love it. Also, man, shout out to Gearless Mode, the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. out here. So I hope y'all are doing well. My best to you, and thank you to the unsung heroes, the soldiers doing the hard work. Prediction. Storm's baby is the new apocalypse. Yeah, I know, that's wild. But the story isn't going to last long. So it's funny. You saw the whole Hellfire Vigil thing, right?
Yeah, right.
So, and you saw that, for those who don't know, I guess, it would be, it is technically breaking news. Breaking news, y'all. Storm is going to have a bun in the oven. Storm about to have a baby. Wait, is that or wait, does that roll off the Aurora got a baby? Or do we do it? Roro got a baby.
Honestly, I was more interested in who played the pullout game with Miss Monroe. That's what I was more interested in.
So here's what I can say. I actually said this on Threads the other day. I said that it's Wolverine. Because it just made sense considering they literally just clapped cheeks. But apparently Storm took a pregnancy test and it came up negative. However, there is a glimpse into the future of a little girl named Faraha who is gonna be the future child of Storm. Now, one thing is said here. She says, I wish I got your white hair, but I got Papa's black hair instead, and his fangs. So one of the things I thought, I was like, Wolverine's got fangs and he's got black hair. I was like, well, yeah, maybe, just maybe, maybe that's who the pappy is, considering, all things considered. But apparently, I actually got it on authority from Morewa that it is in fact not Wolverine.
Blade.
Yeah, that's
Blade got fangs.
I mean,
and the only powers we see her with is using Roro's powers, but we know
Yeah.
she got her pappy powers, and he got black hair too. Maybe Bloodline
Yep.
got a sibling around here. Y'all
Yeah.
don't know.
I mean,
Why
that's
y'all
what
just immediately go to a super cracker? Why'd y'all go to one of them?
this motherfucker.
What's wrong with y'all? Y'all just went to Wolverine just off rip. Y'all just went to the Canadian real quick. How y'all know?
The
How y'all
Canadian.
know?
I mean, Wolverine. I mean, he was putting her in the Canadian Destroyer. So I mean,
Here we go to question.
yeah, he's like-
He ruins everything. He ruins everything.
But
And
no.
what pisses me off even more, I didn't see it coming. My mind was not going anywhere near that.
No, I mean, let's keep it. Let's keep it a buck, though. I mean, the only character that makes sense to me, if it's not if I am incorrect. To be fair, I was joking when I said it. To be fair, I was just kind of honestly, I was just talking out of my ass. If I'm being honest. But I think that if it turns out to be someone else, maybe it's Black Panther. Black Panther does sometimes occasionally get depicted with fangs. But now I will say this. Let me actually be clear on something. Murewa didn't actually say who, like, he didn't actually say it wasn't Wolverine explicitly. This was actually what he had to say about it. This is actually what he said. He said BP fans got connections. They can reach me here in Nigeria. We haven't revealed the father yet. It's still a hunt for Marvel characters with black hair and fangs. But hey, I'm glad you enjoyed the read. But yeah, he didn't tell me who he didn't. And so basically, he said they haven't decided. That's basically what he's saying there. But honestly, I think Wolverine makes more sense than not, just because of recent events. But I also think that Blade makes a lot of sense. Black Panther could technically be the Pappy. The thing is, I feel like I feel like honestly, it's whoever. I don't expect Murewa to pull a Jed MacKay on us, because you know how Jed MacKay is. If Jed MacKay was writing this, that motherfucker would have picked a character ain't nobody heard of since 1987.
I said, what if it was Docking? That's some Jed McKay shit right there. Docking.
Oh my god, yeah. Well, you know what? Yeah, he would do some bullshit like, oh my. But see, then that's like robbing the cradle. That's like robbing the cradle too. At the same, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I feel out. I don't know.
Cordelia did it in the Angel.
Yeah.
Stranger things have happened.
Well, and I saw there was one thing Black Comic Lord shared with me. It was a shot of Black Panther. I think he was turning into a panther. That was from the Ultimate Universe, and that shit to me just does not count. That shit does not count to me. I do not rate that on any level. But yeah, honestly, the way that Murewa has been kind of like all in on Wolverine and Storm, I think honestly he was just misdirecting. I actually think he might have been misdirecting. I think it actually could be Wolverine. But you know what? I'm going to do a video. I'm actually going to do a video about it. I just haven't gotten to the editing bay on it yet. But I'm going to do a video actually talking about who I think could be the father. I'll do a whole video just dedicated to that. But yeah, anyway, moving on. But first, before I do, thank you, Gillis, for that 1999 super chat. We also got MJ Jacobs Jr. here. It says Nash used to kick it in the Virgin Islands. Was growing up, he's super cool. Yeah, Nash is one of those guys, like, you would think he's a good old boy. I mean, he kind of is a good old boy, but like he knows what time it is. He knows what time it is. You don't hang out with Conan for that long and not you hanging out with Conan and Virgil, and all them. You go get your mind right.
Hey, say Virgil.
You go get your mind right.
I could have said any other brother from the NWO. Nigga said Virgil.
Hey, I'm just saying, man. You know Virgil was out here,
bro.
What about? Oh, you know what? I didn't think about that. That's actually another one. I'm gonna add that to the list of possibles. So, what about Death's? What about Death? Apocalypse's son. He's in a new. That is true, and he was recently made a vampire. Though I don't know if that still sticks. You know what? We're like I said,
Krakoa again. We're going back to Krakoa shenanigans.
I mean, look, if we're gonna do it, I mean, we may as well do it right. But I will also say that that would be a nice little deep cut. I actually hope that that's the way it goes. Because I mean, here's the thing. I know recently some people were talking about Black Panther because of the recent thing that happened. Did you read the most recent Avengers? Did you read that? The one that came out this week, or I think it was this week or the week before. I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, I think yeah, I did.
So
with T'Challa and Storm like making
Yeah.
peace and welcoming her to the event. Yeah, I'm with that.
Yeah, like, and I know a lot of people probably thought, oh, okay, so they getting back together. I would slow down. I would slow down. I don't know if that's happening. I don't know if
I think
that's
that was
happening
just
here.
a welcome to the team officially. From
Yeah.
your ex. I think that's what that was.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll see. Is Nightcrawler's hair black? Technically, Nightcrawler is blue. But that's another story altogether. Also, I feel like she would be blue. Just based on some things. I don't know. We'll see. You know what? But I'm not willing to rule everything off the table. I'm willing to let. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. We might do it as one of those ranker things. I wonder if I can make one of those. Can we do a ranker? You know, if people put the thing like the A, the B, the S, whatever. We might do one of those. Maybe we'll do that. We also got the great D-Star here with the 5. Says, yo, whatever happened to Storm and Black Panther's kid from Battle of the Atom? She stayed back in this timeline, and they ain't done nothing with her, as far as I know. So, no, they have not. And as far as I am aware, I don't think she's still around. I could be wrong. I'm open to being wrong on that, but I am of the belief that she is in the wind. I think she's in the wind somewhere. I don't think I was actually of the belief. Like I said, it's been a while since I've read Battle of the Atom. I feel like she went back to where she came from. But once again, I am happy to be wrong about that. And then there's also other characters, because technically there's a couple of different proposed children of Storm. If you read during the Ta-Nehisi Coates era, there was a Black Panther annual where they kind of dived into that. There's a possible future where Storm and Black Panther stay together. They stay married, and they have children, multiple children, all of which I think were mutants. And I don't know where any of that kind of falls into play. We'll just have to see. We'll have to see. But moving on along from that. We have also got another one here. We got one from Nerd Large. Says, I call upon Ern Mamu and Carter Fisto and the rest of the Blerd Sisters reveal who the damn pappy of that Storm baby.
What you ought to do? You know what you ought to do?
What's that?
You ought to just go the Exquisite Corpses route. You and some other.
Oh, we're gonna make a bracket?
Content creators, yeah. Y'all just make a March Madness bracket of who played the no pullout game with Miss
Right?
Monroe. You got Blade over here. You got Wolverine over here. You got Craig over here. Maybe it was Paul. You can put him on there somewhere.
Hey, Paul could get fangs. There's still time.
Maybe Aurora got her groove back. You can put Miles on there somewhere. We don't know what Cody Ziegler writing.
Wait a minute. Are we turning Miles back into a vampire just so he can clap Storm's cheek? Because he ain't even a vampire no more.
Hey, stranger things have happened in this world of comic books. We don't know what's going on.
You know what? I'm here for it. I'm here for, because I'm always here for the memes. I am always here for the memes. So you know what? I would actually put Miles Morales on the list just for memes. Just for the memes. And I do agree with Tubes the One. If Nocturne is anything to go by, Faraha would be blue, most likely. Though, no, the Black Gene is dominant. So, I mean, you never know. You might be, maybe they would be more of a blue-black. Thank you for that. 1999 super chat. And let's see here. I thought I saw something else
from
here.
Chi-Town Dan.
Chi-Town Dan, yeah.
Maury, when it comes to 6-year-old Faraha, James Logan Howlett, you are not the father. Then you're gonna see some big girl screaming, "Oh, Jane!" Then you're gonna have Logan start doing that electric slide and shit because he's not. Could you imagine seeing Storm running down that long ass hallway from the cameraman? Like, bruh.
Wait a minute. And wait, why is Wolverine doing the adamantium pop lock? Why is he like?
Dog. We just got to see Aurora running down the hallway and just hit the floor screaming. Oh, bruh.
Oh, by the goddess, by the bright lady.
I gotta hit you with a Memphis move real quick. What the motherfuckers had Logan Storm on paternity test Tuesday? Like,
Ooh, dude, I wouldn't be ready for it. I would not be ready for it. Oh God, I would not be ready for it.
That's a Memphis bit y'all ain't gonna know about. That's a whole thing on the radio.
Y'all ain't gonna know.
Man.
You see, okay, so I'm taking Ransom. I can't put Ransom on the table in good faith because I do not want to break up a black couple because he is booed up with temper right now. So, we'll have to wait and see on that. But yeah, I'm gonna make a. You know what? I might just make a bracket. I'm debating. We're probably gonna make a bracket. We'll probably make a bracket. Yeah, I love how some of y'all are putting characters in here that are significantly younger than Storm. I didn't see
y'all killing my joke. Y'all killing my joke.
Yeah. Said put Sabretooth up there. Oh Lord, put Sabretooth.
Oh wow,
bruh, Sabretooth.
You know what? Okay, we have 3 questions. I want us to try and get out of the way real quick from the Discord. First question from JWR 2.0 saying, "Hey fellas, happy Saturday, and I hope y'all are doing well. Sorry if this has been asked before. But what in your mind is the one thing that you has to get right about Batman and the Bat family whenever they make their debut?"
Talking about for the DCU, the one thing they have to get right is the dynamic, the family dynamic, the Bat family dynamic. You have to nail it, and that dynamic is just simply this: that while the Bat family exists, Batman does not keep them in the loop. That's one of the things you have to get right about Batman and the rest of the Bat family. You have to get it right that, well, yes, they Nightwing and Damian and Tim and Barbara, Stephanie, whoever the fuck. You have to get it right that, well, yes, they work alongside Batman. Batman keeps the motherfuckers in the dark. Do not have this dude on camera telling them everything, telling the whole story. He's going to keep some shit to himself, and he is largely probably going to dismiss them at various points. That is something you have to have. But but to go back to it, Maggot, Gentle, all the motherfuckers too young. All of them too young. Y'all trying to have Storm out here. Storm is not Wolverine. She does not rob the cradle.
It's the cradle.
Y'all have this motherfucker out here robbing the cradle. Man, ain't that about a bitch?
Ugh. Okay. Next question from Flomanum saying, "Greetings presents Carter and Fear Without Blerd. What's an inventive fight scene that really caught your eye?" Mine is in Ballerina. It involves skates. It involves ice skates. If you know, you know. Funny enough, I just watched that movie yesterday, and I know exactly the scene you're talking about. Yeah, that's pretty dope. That's pretty dope.
Ballerina is legit. I like that. I will also add to that though. I think for me, I like to revisit movies like Atomic Blonde because I really liked how they had Charlize Theron like fighting these people in the stairwell, and the fight felt like, I like it when fights looking cool, that's one thing, but what makes a fight look really cool to me is when it feels realistic. So like when the people are fighting and like they start getting gassed and they're still trying to fight, I love seeing shit like that, especially when they still go hard. But like, it's like, man, you can tell that they're like, and John Wick does this too, try to think maybe even just as equal, if not better effect, where like, it's like, oh man, you can just tell by the time you get to the end of the fight, these motherfuckers are tired. Like they're not getting up spitting one-liners. They're like on the ground, just like, oh my god. Like they had to raise their arms up so they can get maximum oxygen into their lungs and shit. I love seeing shit like that. Love seeing it. But also shout out to I Am Gregor D over here, man. Just out here just gifting subs over on the Twitch side. Just out here just hooking everybody up, man. I love to see it, man. Thank you for that. Shout out to I Am Gregor D out here gifting 5 subs. Thank you. Old Boy is another one. That's another good one. I think The Villainous. That one. The Villainous. That was fucking amazing. Have you seen The Villainous? It's a Korean. I have it in the what's his face in the thing, but it's a Korean movie that's it's so. Do you remember that scene from John Wick? I think it was chapter 2, the one where they were on the motorcycles. Like where he was like he was on I think he was on a horse.
Is it about the sword fight? Is it about the sword fight you're talking about? Because I just pulled it up on YouTube.
Okay, yeah. So like
Okay.
where like John Wick, he's on the horse and they got the motorcycles and all that shit. They actually were open about this. They actually got that idea from Villainous.
Okay.
Villainous is a good movie. The very opening fight scene is actually kind of done like Hardcore Henry, like it's done from first person perspective, but then at a certain point it switches when the character's head gets slammed against like a mirror, and then it zooms out and then you can see everything. But like and that's when you realize the person you've been watching fight this whole time is not a man, it's a woman, and she is beating the fool out of folks. Like it's awesome. It's awesome. But yeah, I actually highly recommend it. It's very good. It's very good. Tenet did a really good job too. I think Tenet did a very good job as well. Last
question from Discord saying, this is from Sean saying, hey, Carter and Ernie, have you guys seen the people complaining about Iggy's deep voice and how he portrays Mr. Terrific in the Superman trailers, saying he's a stereotype of black people?
Huh? I've seen the thing that they're talking about. And Bird Nerd, real quick, I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. So the movie I was just talking about, it's called Villainous.
I can post a clip of the opening scene you were talking about.
Yeah, it's this is the movie. This is the movie right here. And I think it's actually free to watch on Tubi TV, but that's another story altogether. But yeah, you can post the clip in there. Now, okay, Carter, did you see the thing that they're talking about with the clip in question that's being referenced? Did you see that?
No. Only scene I've seen with him talking was him trying to tell Superman to get up because we had to go to work or something like that.
Yeah,
but anything else, okay, that didn't seem like he was a stereotype of. If you want to see stereotype, I'm almost never mind.
What were you gonna say?
Just watch a Tyler Perry movie.
Oh yeah, shit. No, you ain't lied. Well, no, okay. So I'm gonna put y'all on game. I'm gonna put y'all on game just real quick. This won't even take long because basically what it was, it's a scene from a It's a scene from basically a Japanese ad for the movie.
Okay.
And here, I'll pull this up just so you can
let me see this.
Here, let me move this over here. Boom, bing bop boom. There we go. Okay. So here, I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna turn it up just a little bit, but you should be able to hear this.
You want me to drive?
We'll take my ride.
Ooh, that's loud.
You have a flying saucer, but you couldn't get a faster garage door?
I haven't worked on that yet. Dude.
What's stereotyping? What's
okay,
stereotypical?
so let me make something clear. He's not talking like a stereotype. He's talking with a gruff voice.
Yeah, what the fuck are we?
Because basically the most he says is like, I haven't worked on that yet. Like he's doing the Christian Bale. But not like as pronounced.
Okay, you did. I was gonna say we heard Batman do that shit for how long?
Yeah, it's basically he's basically doing the thing that all fucking superheroes usually do. He's talking in a gruffer tone. Because if you notice it, Superman does the same thing, just he doesn't do the gruff voice. He speaks more authoritatively. Like, not even really authoritatively, but like if you notice that when he, like, even just the little clips we've seen when he's Clark versus when he's, Superman, there is a difference in how he speaks. It's no different for any superhero. How this person's, whoever it was that said he was, speaking like a stereotypical black guy, I'm sorry, I just didn't hear it. And everything I have heard, he's like, honestly, he's not using anything much different than his normal speaking voice, just with a little bit of, just a dash of rasp.
Whatever you are watching that is saying that shit to you, Sean, whatever you are watching that is saying that shit to you, any of you other people
dismissed.
that saw that shit, stop watching it.
Yeah, whoever said it,
just
dismissed.
stop watching it. What the fuck?
Block them.
What the fuck? Oh my god.
Block them because they are not serious.
What the fuck are we talking about, bro? What the fuck are we talking about?
And I'll say this. I haven't seen it yet because I saw some people bringing it up. I'm going to go see it Tuesday. Because of the
Jerk. I can't see it there.
Oh, well, well, to be fair, I'm gonna be looking up like this because it's gonna be an IMAX. So technically I'm actually not that close to the screen, the way that Paradiso does it. I'm still close, but it's not like as bad as what some people might expect. But they did this thing where, like, if you had Amazon Prime, you could get into a special screening. And they had one here in Memphis, and I was able to get it, but like the website was being jank as fuck. So by the time I could actually get logged in, most of the tickets were gone. So the only places were like up close. But yeah. That said, let me double back because I want to get. There's some questions I think got lost, and I didn't get to pin them before they went away, but I am going to pick up some of the ones that I can, right quick. We got one from LP3 says, question, what are your, Ernie and Carter's, thoughts and or expectations for Chip Zdarsky's Captain America? I think the first issue was awesome, and I have just become a Valerio Schiti fan. Did you read Chip's Cap this week? What'd you think?
Well, we've had conversations about this good. It was fine. It was fine. But I'm wondering what kind of series this is now. Because I've always been one of those ones that has said it, and you and I both have said it repeatedly. These period piece little minis, like when they get Claremont to do a Magneto story. It's not current Magneto, it's Magneto back when XYZ was going on. So that caught me off guard with this first issue. I thought it was going to be more current shit, not a period piece of right when Cap got out. So that kind of concerns me because I don't normally like those. But I'll let it play. I'll let it play so we can see what else is going on and see who this other Cap is. And plus, I just want to read how he does. And you know what? I'm gonna blame Daredevil because I've been reading that this week. So I'm willing to give him some extra rope with this Cap, just so we can. I'm willing to let this play out.
I'm not gonna give away too much, but just know that it is gonna. So his Captain America is gonna be featured on Best Comics this week. I'm not gonna repeat anything that I've already said there, but I will say, yes, it is a period piece, but it technically is in continuity as well. It's not like one of those, kind of like with Avengers Twilight, where it's a great story, but it doesn't really it's not in main continuity. This actually is, because basically what they're doing is they're moving up the scale on when Captain America got thawed out of the ice. So instead of it being like, oh, he got, thawed out, back in the, what was it, like in the 70s, 60s, 70s, whatever. Now they're making it more, and they've technically done this before. They always kind of move it up ever so often, like, oh, it's more recent. Oh, it's more closer to now. Well, now they've made it where he didn't get thawed out of the ice until just right after 9/11. And that there was another, and there's another person who is out there. There's a new character that's been introduced that we'll have to wait and see what else we can learn about him. But basically, yeah, they're doing a retcon of Captain America's history, and I feel like, yeah, your barrier for entry is going to be whether or not you can get jiggy with that retcon. I think if you can, I think you'll find a lot to like. I think if you can't, you are probably not going to like it very much at all. So yeah, that is what I'll say about that. We also got one here from John Source's question: is that clip of Superman projected on the pyramid in Memphis real? To my understanding, yes. I haven't been out of the house much recently, so I'd have to go down there and look. But it seems to be the case.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, I saw it the other day. It was making the rounds. But yeah, there's here, I can find it right quick because it is on my timeline. But yeah, they did this whole well, it's technically not even really the pyramid. It's a over the bridge is what it is.
Oh, it's over the bridge. Okay.
Yeah, it's over the bridge. So here, let me, like, the way that it is showcased, I could see where you could probably think that. I don't know. The way it looks to me, it looks like it's not. Or I don't know, maybe it is. Shit. I'll have to, I don't go downtown very often. I might actually go down there tonight though, just to see if it's actually still up. But here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. This is what they're talking about right here. This right here. They're showing like different places that have it, but like, yeah, this is what people were talking about right here.
That's cool.
So, like I said, I'll actually go downtown. I'll actually go downtown tonight and take a look and see like what's what. But to my understanding, that is at least one of those is the Mississippi River. You can't really sneak the Mississippi past me. But yeah, where to go? Here we go. We got one from Wee Man Wade. It says, question: if Mr. Terrific steals the show in this movie, like I hope he does, would a JSA leadership role or a Terrifics team be better for him going forward? Give me the Terrifics. I'd rather have that. Because I'm gonna tell you why. Because I've recently been going back and rereading the Terrifics for a video. And Carter, did you read the Terrifics? Did you ever read that one? Okay.
One issue. Not one issue.
Okay.
That's why I'm waiting for the collection to come out.
Okay, because I know you and I talked about the collection, but I couldn't remember if you had already read it before. But okay, so basically, I'm gonna go ahead and put y'all on game. For those who do not know, the Terrifics is a naked, absolutely buck, stark, raving naked ripoff of the Fantastic Four. And that's not a knock. That's not a knock. That's not me talking shit. It is what it is. It is a stark, raving, naked version of the Fantastic Four. And that is complete with their own version of Dr. Doom. Dr. Dread. Mr. Terrific is basically the Mr. Fantastic of the group, at least in terms of him being the leader. Plastic Man basically is a way to have a Reed Richards on the team, but also Plastic Man is the Johnny Storm, the Human Torch of the group. Metamorpho is the Ben Grimm, even down to the point that the whole purpose of his character in his first arc is to try to turn back to normal. so he can be with his boo, Sapphire. And Phantom Girl is basically Invisible Woman. Only she doesn't turn invisible. She's her whole thing is intangibility. And yeah, they deal with a lot of the same shit. They have a lot of the same dynamics. Guess, Carter, based on what I just told you, which characters do you think are always fucking with each other?
So you can't ask me that because the one thing that's still in my head is from our previous conversation about Stewart. I'm the wrong person to ask the question.
Okay, so basically, you know how like the Thing and Human Torch are always like ribbing on each other?
Mm-hmm.
Same thing in the Terrifics. Plastic Man and Metamorpho.
Okay.
They're always fucking with each other. Now, because Phantom Girl is literally a child, there is no love interest or love dynamic between Mr. Terrific and Phantom Girl. That is something that is not done at all, thankfully.
That's good.
Because Phantom Girl is like a teenager, like, and I mean a young teenager. I don't think she's older than 13, 14, or 15 years old, like at best. And also during the course of that series, that's when we get Ms. Terrific, which is she's from a reality where Michael was the one who died in the car crash, not her, and she becomes Ms. Terrific. Because that's the thing a lot of people forget. The reason, like, Paula was also equally as smart as Michael was. And she also, because she was a scientist as well, so basically she just did what he did. Which I thought was really cool. And instead of having T spheres, she had T cubes. Which was kind of cute. But she had the fair play jacket, the T on her face, the whole 9 yards. But she was also,
was it a lowercase T? I'm just asking.
No. But I mean, but it was cold though. It was ice fucking cold. I thought it was really cool.
I'll give you some rope with that one because I've done it with Something Is Killing the Children. I've done it with Once in Future as well.
Yeah.
So I'm picking up the three. Just off of your recommendation. I'm gonna see what's plus I like Strange Adventures. I like Year One as well. So yeah, I'm gonna check it out.
Oh yeah, like I said, it's good. Also, man, I really love when Victor Bogdanovic is on the book. His art really sells. His art really sells the whole thing. He's not on it for long, but when he is on, it's great. That's the one bad thing I'll say about Terrifics. I hate how the art keeps changing, but like it's never bad artists though. It's just that ever so often, whoever's doing art on the book shifts.
Yeah.
And sometimes for no reason. But yeah, basically, we get to see what would happen if Michael was the one who died, and not Paula, which is pretty cool. I did a whole video about her. Y'all should check it out. But we also got another one here. This is from Bill. It says, question, will 3K's leader be Darwin? He envisioned a new Krakoa in the vault and influenced by the children. By the way, Ironheart producer Sev Ahanian revealed background Blade costumes were used for Sinners. Yeah, that part I knew. That part I knew about. Since the movie never went through, they ended up selling off the costumes to Proximity Media for the Blade production, for the Sinners production, because it was basically just proof that the original Blade script did take place in the past. But no, that is actually an interesting theory about it being Darwin. I could kind of see that. Maybe, possibly. The only thing, and now this would be the only reason. The only reason that I would be hesitant to say that it is Darwin is largely because I feel like Darwin wouldn't have a need to hide his face. But you don't know. You never know. Like I feel like, I don't know, that'd be the one thing that would be kind of weird about that. But whoever it is, I do think that it is interesting that Darwin has yet to repop back up. Yeah. That was one of the ones that actually did get lost earlier. So I'm glad you put that back up. So yeah, let's pull this one up. This is from G Martinez Mac. It says Mr. Terrific's one of the smartest in the DC Comics universe, third smartest by his own admission. Going back to black folks being super smart as a superpower, why hasn't he given himself more powers like Stark did in Marvel? I think because it's all back to his mantra of fair play. It's all back to his mantra of fair play. Something that Something that actually got readdressed in Mr. Terrific Year 1. When they did the whole throwback to there was an old, for those who don't know, there was an old issue of the Spectre. There was an old issue where he had where Mr. Terrific, when he's early in his career, where he meets the Spectre for the first time, and they get into it. And one of the things that comes up, is that that was kind of where his belief in fair play became pretty open and honest, like evening the playing field between the gods and monsters and the normal people. But I feel like with his T-spheres, he doesn't even need extra powers. Like, I think that's kind of the flex, is that he is terrific. Not like...
I don't have to, at least in my opinion, I don't have to cheat to give myself more shit, because I'm good right now. The fuck I need to do that for? You know what I mean?
Well, because you look at his T-spheres, everything he can do, like a lot of it's because of the T-spheres, but also like he can have them do so many different things. Like he almost doesn't, like honestly, he doesn't even need powers because of those things. So yeah, that's the reason why I think he doesn't bother. Also, man, we've seen people do shit like that, like with Tony. How did that work out? Tony stay fucking up when he try and like advance himself. But yeah, that was a good one though. That is a good one though. That's a very good one. Infamous Mike Manhattan says, question, have you read Wing Bearer from Marjorie Liu? It's an all ages fantasy adventure comic where the main protagonist is a black girl. I think it's a great comic to get kids into reading. I have not read it, but see, you said Marjorie Liu, so I'm already in. I'm actually gonna look this up. I'm gonna see where this is available. Actually, you know what? Let me see something here. Here's something funny. I actually have seen this book before, but I never got a chance to pick it up. I actually want to see something. Let's check. I want to do a little quick check. By the way, I do want to make a quick announcement since I'm going to bring up Global Comics. I don't know if any of you know this, but Global Comics just recently got a deal set up where now Archie comics are now on Global Comics, and that same deal that they were doing with Dark Horse, where like you can get comics day and date from Dark Horse, you can now do that with IDW on Global Comics now. So and I think it's only if you have the unlimited the subscription. I think I could be wrong, but I'm open to that. Totally open to that. Oh my god. Dude, there are some nasty fools on here. That's okay though. That is okay. Yeah, there's some nasty fools on here. I'm sorry, y'all. I got distracted. I apologize. I was looking to see if Wing Bearer was, or Wing Bearer. My God, Jesus Christ. If I could talk and use actual words, I was looking to see if Wing Bearer was on there, but I do not see it on there, so that's sad. Hashtag sad. But yeah, I see where it's available, like to pick up, like on like Amazon and shit like that. So I'll have to look into that. It sounds like it might be up my alley. And I think that's it. Carter, I think we're done.
Okay.
I think we're done. Carter, do you have anything that Oh, also shout out to Blazing Chaos who just followed. Thank you. Not just followed, but they followed over on the Twitch side.
Twitch.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're on the Twitch side. But yeah. G Martin, I like that. I like that too. I actually like that. Mr. Terrific's power is simply being that guy. He is him. That is his power. And honestly, if they're okay, I'm gonna put it like this, and this is I'm gonna say this about the Terrifics. I'm gonna say this about the Terrifics, and then we're gonna and then we're gonna like wrap up. But this is what I will say to you. Basically, there is a damn good reason. There is a damn good reason why when James Gunn made his announcement about what comics he read and what comics were inspiring the portrayal of the characters that are going to show up in the DCU, there's a reason why the Terrifics was one of the books he mentioned.
Yeah, so that's a very nice way of you saying, Ernie, you getting your book as a is what you're saying.
Oh, yeah. Oh, 100%. 100%. And
you getting what you want.
yeah. Oh, yeah. No, 100%. Like, and I'll say this too. Like I said, you can kind of once again, you can just kind of look at it just right here. This is quite easily one of the best comics that has come out in the last decade. And I will also say this, the only good thing that came out of that new age of heroes that DC did after Dark Knight's Metal. Yes, I like Sideways, but what did they do with Sideways after the little 5 issues? I think Sideways only got like 5 or some odd issues. But Terrifics ran for a solid, I think Terrifics ran for like 30. I think it was the one book that actually like stood the test of time out of that new crop.
That's gonna be a thick ass trade then. Damn. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know that. Okay.
Oh yeah. This was. Oh, so I'll put it like this. They the Terrifics got 4 volumes, worth of trade paperbacks. Got 4.
Okay.
They hung 4 around your damn neck. Did you know? And I didn't know this because I've been going back and reading again. I was seeing covers with like taglines for Year of the Villain and shit. That tells you when that book came out. Oh. They had some Year of the Villain tie-ins. And here's the thing, not one single bad issue was in that crop. Not one bad issue. Jeff Lemire was writing his ass off on this book. And this is why I always say, like, when people talk about how, man, I really wish there were some white writers out there that know how to write black people. Well, there you go. Jeff Lemire writing the fuck out of a whole Negro. 2 of them, if you want to count Ms. Terrific. So there you go.
That's news to me. That's pretty wild.
Yeah. So yeah, it was good. Like I said, James, like that's how I knew that the DCU was in good hands when he started naming off books like Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, and The Authority and shit like that. And when James Gunn pulled the Terrifics out the crack of his ass, I was like, Lord, this man knows what he's talking about. I was like, what's our boy name? Ezra Saxton, Keith David himself. When he said, he was saying on Community, this man knows what he's doing. That was me. I was him. I was like, that white man knows what he is doing. And yes, he did. He sure the fuck did create Black Hammer. Jeff Lemire, that is. By the way, did you watch, have you been watching Duster?
Mm-mm.
Ooh, you need to watch that. That was good. They just had the season finale of Duster. It was good. It was real good. Let's see here. Oh, here, wait. Let me see. John Stewart said there's something in the here. Let's see what this is.
Yeah, the clip for Terrific he thinks people were referring to. All he said was, I'm goddamn Mr. Terrific.
Oh, he's talking about this one here. Let me see what this is. Let's see here. Hold up. Let's do it like this. Or here, we'll just do it like that. There we go. And also, let me turn that bitch down some because it's gonna be loud as fuck in my ear.
Yep, sure was.
So I guess you decided to help.
Hell yeah.
I'm goddamn Mr. Terrific.
I ain't gonna lie. You know what? Honestly, I'm here for it, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. You know, y'all know what that's in reference to, right? Y'all know what that's a reference to. I hope y'all know. I really hope y'all know.
I think there are a lot of people who did not read, rightfully so.
Rightfully so.
All-Star
Yeah.
Batman and Robin.
Yeah, I'm about to say thank you.
I don't think there's a lot of people that yeah.
Thank you, because that's exactly what the fuck I was about to say.
Yeah.
Rightfully so.
Again, rightfully so. Y'all didn't read that damn All-Star Batman and Robin. No.
Because it was not good. It was not good. Like, honestly, it's a book that is only for the memes. It is a book that is only for the fucking memes. I'm the goddamn Batman. Look, I don't give a fuck. I'm perfectly okay with it. I am perfect. Dude, fair play. Fair fucking play, okay?
Okay.
Fair fucking play. Anyway, that, ladies, gentlemen, and MBs, is the goddamn show. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for your energy. And I think right now you guys should be seeing Best Comics This Week premiering on YouTube right now. Please go watch it. I really would appreciate it if y'all watch it, because I don't do these for my health. I don't make these videos for my fucking health. Thank you very much and kindly. So look, if you're scrolling YouTube and you're like, man, I'm really looking for, man, I really wish there was something to watch. If you happen to see a video just pop up on your screen that you see this picture, can you please click on it? I just need one click. Just one click from each of you. Just one click. If I get one click from each of you, that just also, and click the like button while you do so. Also, click the like button while you're here, please, please, please. I would really appreciate it if y'all do that. It helps me out tremendously. I just would really appreciate that if y'all hook your boy up. And also, shout out to everyone in Blerd Koa. Shout out to Earth's Mightiest patrons, Earth's Mightiest subscribers, Blerd Club. Matter of fact, I'm not fuck that. I'm gonna put some respect on y'all's name. I'm not just gonna talk about y'all like y'all ain't here. No, I want y'all to put some respect on the goddamn Blerd Koa. Put some respect on the goddamn Earth's Mightiest patrons, the goddamn Earth's Mightiest subscribers, the goddamn Blerd Club. Also, put some respect on y'all, the goddamn chat, for the goddamn Carter Presents. I am the goddamn Blerd Without Fear. Ooh, and Donald Trump.
We coming for you, nigga.